Yo, yo, yo. Thank you for joining us on the Logistics Lounge. Got a great show lined up for y'all as always. As y'all seen, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Timothy Dooner joining us today. In the news, we're going to touch on some fraud, how to help y'all prevent your fuel cards from getting messed with and you being on the hook for quite a bit of money in some cases. As I say, sit back, buckle up, pop a top, and enjoy the lounge. Mr. Hound, how's your day, man?
It's going pretty good there, Mr. Potato. It's been a good week, good start to the week. Afraid it's flowing as it needs to be flowing. Ducks are quacking. My snapping turtle's been a little more frequent. I'm about to start feeding him, dude. I'm telling you, he's about this big, man. Got a tail the size of this water bottle. So
Golly,
he's got to
dude.
be, dude. He's ancient. He's ancient. He'll crawl back and forth and just like perch up on the side and snap at dogs every now and then. And it's cool, man. But life's going good up here in Nashville. How are things down there in Texas?
Man, it's great. I've actually been really happy this week. So here comes my suburban dad moment. We we got some good rain this week, man. So my grass is looking damn nice right now, man. I know, dude. I love my grass. I don't know what it is, but
Oh, I'm with you, man. It's been the same way here in Tennessee, and it's just greener outside, dude. I swear, like it's normally we have like our fall spring, and then it gets like cold as shit, and I'm surprised it hasn't snowed yet. Knock on wood, it still might snow again, but like I don't know, dude. It's been nice. It's been green. I'm seeing things driving down the road that I've been driving past for years, and I'm seeing old houses and stuff. It's neat, man. But hey, gotta love the yard being nice and healthy.
dude, I love it. I think I've said it before, man. I grew up poor in the hood, man. And when we used to go into the nice neighborhoods, man, everyone had nice green grass. So like in my mind, that's one of the signs of like you're doing okay for yourself, man. Like if you got time and money to spend on your grass, I'm telling you that stuff is not cheap. Took me 2.5 years to get my grass right. So yeah, I don't know. I just one of those things, bro. Take pride in my grass. So
What do you
weather's
got?
been
Some
great.
Kentucky blue? You got you some Kentucky blue?
No, man, the people who lived here before me were weird. I've got fescue, I've got Augustine, I've got Bermuda. It's an absolute disaster in my yard, but it looks good, so that's really all that matters.
That's all that matters.
But dude, the weather's been like Nashville weather. To tell you the truth, man, we've had our windows open all week long, so I am, I'm doing my conservationalist part, bro. I'm not using my AC, sucking up that energy. So it's been cool. Freight world's going all right, not really too busy of a week for me. I kind of got everything done Monday and Tuesday, and really been dealing with money stuff and accounting things, trying to get my dollar bills, y'all. You know what I mean? So, other than that, same old, same old. That's right, dude. I'm telling you, man. I got this one guy that I so want to send him an email. I'm like, listen, I am not the one you want to play with my money. Like I can come sit at the front door of your facility every single day with my cash app until you pay me. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it's quite a bit of money. But it is what it is. Such is life, such is this business. You know how it goes.
Yes, sir.
Before we go roll into everything, going to show some love to our sponsor. I mean, really, what else is there to say that we haven't already said about Shoreline, except that it's a sure thing with Shoreline. All right. As soon as I get done reposting all this stuff, I'm gonna do this news real quick, man. I'm telling you, I got to come up with a better system for this crap. Every time I think I've got it down, it doesn't go too well. We need an assistant. That's what we need, man. We need someone that just sits here and plays with social media while we're live, so we don't have to do it.
Bar back Ryan.
Bar back Ryan. That's right. We need to get Ryan back here. He could just sit backstage, man, and do all of
Yeah.
our social media while we're on the show. Josh, that's right, man. He's in the house, man. We got him standing on the front porch, waiting like the pizza man, and we're gonna bring him in here soon. First, we're gonna go ahead get to this news, and we'll roll on into the primetime guest. Overdrive. I've really been loving their stuff, man. I don't know if it's ever since we met them at Mats, I've been gravitating more towards their articles, but I like them, man, dude. Meeting them was fantastic. Touched on this, I think, I don't know, a month, two back, somewhere around there, about the, fraud with fuel cards really, really having an uptick. Lots of carriers experiencing it. And ironically, you would think that the security measures for fuel cards would be the same as they are for debit cards, and fraud alerts and stuff like that. But like a lot of things in the trucking industry, it baffles me that they're a tad bit behind. All right, rolling into it. Driver Jay, and I may be pronouncing his last name wrong, Hosty, who is actually a driver of the year. He got presented with that award this year at Max, actually. He stopped at a pilot to get fuel, and when he had realized that something was amiss when he went to put his card in the slot at the pump. He said that it felt a little hard to push in and it just didn't feel normal. Yet he got the card in, got his fuel, and went about his way. Had no other issues the rest of the day, no fraud alerts, nothing like that. Following morning, he woke up to an email from his company, Landstar, and their fraud department. They had found out and told him that someone had fueled 350 gallons at another pilot flying hook there in Texas, amounted to around $1,100. Fortunately for him, he does business with Comdata. Everyone knows who they are. They're really, really big in our industry with fuel cards. He was able to submit fraud documents and a report to them, and they did restore the $1,100, and the issue was resolved in about a week. Now, several fuel cards are starting to go the way of banks and are implementing geo alarms that trigger if the purchase is made within a certain proximity, within a certain time frame where the last purchase was made, and that is actually what triggered this. So Comdata is one of those ones that they are kind of taking a lead and are putting things like this in place. Here is the big point of it, and why I want to give some Comdata some love. They actually have a thing called One Click. It is a no charge added feature for Comdata users. It is built. It is built for the masses," said Morgan, who is a person with Comdata. He said whether it's a one truck owner operator or a fleet of 10,000 trucks, that everybody can use it, and it is very effective. What it does is when any driver wants to get fuel, the driver themselves or the company, they go on the app and they just press a little button, and it allows the fuel card to open and be used. You can actually also set a time limit on the card for you to make purchases. So, say you're 50 miles, 30 miles out from your fuel stop, and fleet manager, dispatch, sometimes hard to get in touch with. So you call them a little ahead of time, say, hey, I'm gonna be here in 35 minutes. Could you turn my card on? And then maybe shut it off 15 or 20 minutes after that. Oops, sorry, I lost my place in my notes here. The uprise in the fuel card stuff really has been detrimental. There was one example here in this article about a North Carolina carrier who was hit with $27,000 worth of fraudulent charges in less than
My
20
God.
How freaking nuts is that?
How do
The
you not
article,
catch that?
dude, I know it's crazy, man. As always, those are just some excerpts from the article. I don't like to read everything that Todd says because I want y'all to go over there to Overdrive and read it for yourself. It did not say whether that company in particular was able to recoup that $27,000, but you know, thing is everyone right now is real cautious when they go to use their debit or credit card in a personal sense. People know, hey, check that scanner, that device at the register. If you're able to use tap to pay. We go through these precautionary measures when it comes to our personal money, but we don't think about that as much when it comes to business stuff or professional things. And I mean, as I say a lot, the trucking industry is just an easy target for a lot of things. The fuel card deal, I can easily see why that's a big thing that's going on right now. Obviously, fuel is expensive, but also, if you're a driver man, when you get up to that fuel island, you're literally under the clock. Your mission is to swipe that card, pump that fuel, clean your windows, do your little checks, and then get out of that fuel line as quick as possible. So, you know, you don't think about the stuff that I just mentioned, you know, pulling on the card slot or, you know, looking for the security tape over the card device, you know, being messed with or anything like that. So all you drivers out there, this is something that's on the rise. You know, make sure that y'all are taking, you know, steps to prevent yourself from being a victim of fraud. Um, See if your company, whoever you do business with on the fuel card, does or has something like Calm Data. You know, where they have an app, or you may just have to call an 800 number, and you can shut your card off and on depending on when you need to use it. You know, to help prevent that stuff. I honestly think that's pretty cool. Like I really like
Yeah,
that.
that's smart.
Yeah, that
That's
is
super
actually a
smart.
really really good thing, man. So that's all I got, brother. Any
Yeah.
comments, questions, concerns, forwarding
Yeah.
thought?
If you drivers out there or fleet managers out there aren't using calm data, keep an eye on your cards and your spending. Know where your drivers are at. But if not, just use calm data because that sounds pretty nifty. Like save
Hey,
yourself from losing $27,000 and going through that struggle to get that money back.
Josh, the homie Josh here says, you know, protect or hedge fuel costs with Fuel Shield. Not sure who that is. We'll have to look him up, or Josh shoot us some info on it. And he says Calm Data is legit. Yeah, yeah, they are, man. That's who I used when I was a driver. Was always Calm Data
Yeah,
cards. So
Josh, no more free plugs. I
yeah,
don't know who
that's
Fuel
right.
Shield is.
We're gonna get Ryan to open a virtual tip jar, and
There you go.
every time you drop a plug more than once, you
Yeah,
gotta.
we'll do it like Nashville. You know, like you toss in a couple dollars and we might mention something, but if it's like a free bird, which is a free plug, $100.
Yeah. Oh man, I like it. I like it. All
Yep.
right, man. You want to get into this gentleman that we've got sitting here waiting on
Yep.
the front porch. Our
Um,
pizza's getting cold.
yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Looks like we got a good crowd starting to flow in right now. For those of you that do know who our guest is today, we're gonna try to make this as smooth as possible, the best that you've heard yet. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Timothy Dooner, the man himself, Mr. What the Truck.
Oh, stopped. Hey, what's
There it
up,
is.
guys? How's it going?
What's going on, Dooner? How's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. I'm perfectly well shaded here in the house. Thank you, Zin, for the hat. And now I'm just enjoying the lounge. It's nice. I don't have to run the show today. I can just like chill out and just respond to whatever you guys say to me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Starting to catch on to it, man. It is the lounge, and what better thing to have than a little Zen hat, a little shade, a little Zen in pocket. But thanks for being here, brother.
Hey, man, had to. It's opening, even though it's opening day for the Chattanooga Lookouts, and even though it's dogs at the ballpark, I'm still here for you guys.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it, man. Well, you know, like I said before, a lot of people know who you are, but for those that don't know who you are, who is Timothy Dooner, and how did you get to where you are today?
Uh, hmm. That's a long story. Well, let's see. Right now, I'm a podcast and Sirius XM host and producer for Freightwaves. I run a show that you guys mentioned called What the Truck, and I also help build other shows behind the scenes and help do production that end and marketing and all that kind of stuff for the brand. But prior to that, I was in operations for 14 years with companies like FedEx, and I did that for a while. I did like operations. So logistics, FedEx had just landed the Reebok account, so they hired a bum off the street like me to run it, even though I didn't know what I was doing. But it was cool. I learned how like air freight and ocean freight worked, and then at a certain point, like in a lot of like the one problem with operations is you can only make so much money. You know, like you kind of get capped at different tiers. With like FedEx, the option was like maybe go to Memphis or something. And I never been to Tennessee at that point yet. And I didn't want to go out to Memphis. So there's other options in Boston. So I got into sales and I did freight sales for a little while. Wanted to transition over to marketing. And part of that is I was trying to launch a podcast in 2016 for this company I was selling freight for. And they were like, nah, podcasts suck. Nobody listens to like a freight podcast. The audio quality is bad. And by the way, you're fired anyway. So got fired from that job. And that's how I started that. And prior to that, I was in the music industry for a little bit. I went to college from Boston, went to college out in California, worked in the music industry. Napster and LimeWire took all the money out of the music industry. So I left it and then joined logistics. I don't know. It's a convoluted back end way of saying all this.
Oh, that's perfect, man. And we will find that Radiohead cover.
Oh yes,
I'm
They're
telling
out
you,
there,
we will
man.
dig.
They're out there.
You know,
I've been a
hey,
paid musician before.
we
that's
are.
perfect.
I love how he quickly grazed over that. I was in the music industry. Dooner was a part-time rock star. All right, he has a missing hit out there somewhere, and we are going to
Hey,
find
$25 Amazon gift card to whoever finds it in the
It's a
logistics
bounty.
lounge. You know, I did see that LimeWire is making a comeback, but funny enough, it's in the crypto space. I don't know
Good
how,
luck.
but you know, they're just sharing their little LimeWire tangible fund. I just wanted one of those coins, but that'd be awesome. But I don't want LimeWire back
Wasn't it
ruining.
Ty? Maybe Ty Lopez will bring it back. He brought back like Radiohead as a crypto exchange. Not
Really?
Radiohead, Radio Shack. Sorry,
Oh.
Radiohead was the cover. Radio Shack as a crypto exchange.
really.
Yeah, like last year or 2 years ago, he bought Radio
You know,
Shack, and it was like Ty Lopez bought that shit. I think like the shit coin it was attached to failed and all that. But yeah, for a time being, he was trying to like choose Radio Shack. Maybe it was just cheap to buy like the brand, and he was
I
like,
know.
well, everyone knows Radio Shack.
Huh.
That's funny. Oh man, that's good stuff. I can't believe I didn't hear about that. That's funny as hell, man.
It's gonna be the
LimeWire, I did hear
rebirth of
about
brick and
LimeWire.
mortar shops right there.
Oh, yeah.
I want to, dude. All right, I wonder if we could buy Circuit City's brand and start our own crypto.
Boom.
Man,
Let's
I
do
got
it.
my first HDTV at a Circuit City. It was like a 720p. I don't think
I
they even
got-
make the brand anymore.
I got my first real stereo system at a Circuit City. I'll never forget that thing, man. It was a Panasonic with like a 6-disc changer, had all these lights. Oh man, that was the greatest thing ever for a 12-year-old kid, man. My neighbors hated me.
Dude, I was so poor when I first started in logistics. Like 30,000, I think 30,000 was like my starting salary at FedEx in Boston. Had no money. It's
What
tough.
year was that
You gotta
though? 'Cause
grind.
that's not so bad for a starting salary. I mean, depending on the year. 'Cause I started
Boston?
in like
You out of your mind?
in 2017. My starting was like 36, and that
In
was.
Boston? You did not live in Boston though, did you?
I didn't live in Boston, no, but I lived in
Okay.
Nashville. That's not much cheaper.
It was expensive. It's tough. You don't make
Yeah.
a lot of money in operations at first. It's a good place to
No.
learn, but you just don't make that much money at first.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, how did you get your start in logistics? I mean, I know you said briefly that they just dragged a guy off the street, which seems
Sort
like
of.
that's kind of the MO. But like what was your peak in that? Like, obviously, like did someone just look at you at a bar and say, "Hey, come work for me," or were you applying? Like, what was the peak there?
I was on OnlyFans and they saw I looked good without my shirt. So nah, it didn't even exist yet, man. I got married before Tinder. I did everything wrong. No, I'm just kidding. My wife is great. I heard Tinder's terrible either. I bet it's better to be like married in a good relationship than it is to like be stuck on that. No, so like I moved. So I was out in California. I had a car lease that came up. The music industry thing wasn't working. I was thinking of maybe going back to school to teach. I wasn't really sure. I was like 24 years old, had no idea what to do. Just broke up with the girl in Hollywood. My parents had just moved down to Dana Point, California, and they had an extra room. So I'm like, I got to move out of this girl's place. I don't know. So I go down to Dana Point for a little while, and there's a school called Saddleback College, and I was trying to take some teaching credits, and I was waitering out there, and I was figuring out what to do. But like after a year, it just felt like I was going nowhere in California. A buddy of mine had just happened to hit me up on the MySpace. This was a while ago. Hit me up on the MySpace and he's like, "Hey, I got a room that opened up in the apartment. It's only $400 a month. Do you want to come down?" And I was like, "Awesome! You're right on the T. I don't need a car or anything like that. I can just move on down there." And Harmonix was over in Cambridge. They're the ones who made Rock Band. So I figured with like having worked in music, having understood music licensing, maybe I can get a job with Harmonix. I'm a big video game nerd. We can make some Rock Band, some Guitar Hero. That didn't happen. I was running out of money. And I called my dad and I'm like, things are getting a little tight. I don't know if I'll be able to fly back for the holidays. And he's like, "Look, you need to get a job, man." And he's like, "I know this guy, Bob Keneally at FedEx Trade Networks." My dad had worked for a company called Roanoke Insurance, which is a big maritime insurance provider. He's like, my dad's actually like the guy who brought maritime insurance to Boston. It wasn't like a big product back then. And so he did really well for this company called Roanoke. And he knew this guy named Bob Keneally who worked at FedEx. And he was just like, "I think he's hiring." So I went in and I'm like, like whatever, this will get me through the winter. It'll get the wolves off my ass. My dad will leave me alone, and maybe Harmonix will be 3 months down the road. That never happened. I'm still in this industry. Ever since. I went in the Roach Motel, like all of us, and couldn't come back out.
That's incredible. So I mean, that's wild though. Like, so I guess you being in tech and being in music with harmonics. I mean, like, are you do you still use that side of life at all? Like, or are you just full on? I know, like podcasting, and obviously, like that's your thing. But is there a
I use
chance that?
everything I learned in life. I went to college for music technology. I used that to start recording myself to start doing these shows. That's how I learned how to
Yeah.
edit and video edit and do all that kind of stuff. And then the content I learned all from just doing logistics and being a degenerate idiot alcoholic for a few years before I got better. That's what I did.
Isn't it quite ironic that Dooner is probably the, I don't know, umpteenth thousand person we've talked to that logistics was their fallback, that they didn't even know was their fallback. Like we've said, nobody grew up and said, you know what, I'm gonna be an ops manager at FedEx. You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna be a freight broker.
I know it
Like,
makes me feel stupid for listening to my counselor still. Like, oh, you would like logistics. You're not smart enough for mechanical engineering. You should go and do logistics. Like, oh yeah, this seems fine.
I
Oh, sure.
think
It's a
that's
second
what
chance motel. That's what I like about it, though. It brings a lot of different diverse people, a lot of different diverse skill sets, a lot of different like fuck ups who couldn't
Yeah.
make it anywhere else. That's nice. That's cool. These are my people.
he said logistics is one of those pay by the hour motels on the strip.
It is, man. That bed that you put the quarter in and it rocks.
I
You and your
think I
honey.
think I think that's why you never see logistics places, at high schools for career day, because they already know, like, eventually they'll get to it.
We'll
You know
get
what
you.
I mean? Like, they'll
Eventually.
eventually get here.
Yeah, go
I
get
mean,
that
trucking's a
business.
little
Go
different.
get
Like
that
Craig
business
Fuller,
degree.
like my boss, for example, like Max was running US Express, right? And like when Craig was a kid, he was pulling like Teddy Ruxpins out of the back of at a semi truck. So like that's kind of always been in his blood. My dad was like in insurance, maritime insurance. That's definitely not something like as a kid, you're like, man, I can't wait till my dad gets home from the bar so we could talk about like how many deals he closed insuring boxes or something. I like no, that never crossed my mind.
That's crazy though. Your dad working for Roanoke and bringing it to Boston. So I mean, so you must have had some generalized idea about logistics and freight and everything before you got into FedEx, right?
Not really. I mean, my dad was like, it's a freight forwarder. I had no idea
Yeah.
what that was. Like, I think I used a freight forwarder to send my car from Boston to California. And like, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm like brokering car. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, I don't care. You guys have to understand this. In my 20s and 30s, I drank a lot. So for me, it was like, if I have enough money to pay my rent and drink and fuel like that alcoholism, my own indiscretions, I was like, fine. I was a fuck up for a while like that.
So scraping it day by day. I've seen
I
many of them. Been one of them before. Not to the degree that you have, and not saying anything bad about it. I watched that TED talk last night, and dude, you truly have an incredible story, dude. I mean, just from the beginning to where you are now, and kudos to you. And one of the things that got me though is this journal that you did talk about, the happiest I've never been. Do you
Oh,
still
yeah.
have that with you till this day?
Yeah, I do. I mean, there's two things that like I always sort of have to contend with, and life's gotten a lot easier since like there are things that like I've sort of admitted to myself. There are things that are like acute, chronic, and stuff I have to deal with, and that's alcoholism and just depression, like mental health. There are two things that I had to take care of and not be too macho to do, or not just avoid because it's easier to be sick or any of those kind of things. So yeah, I mean, but like like alcohol is so easy. Like the hardest thing for me is just, always just keeping mentally good. It's a lifelong thing. It's something I'll always work on, but I've learned so many tricks, and it's so much easier when you're not like screwed, when you're not messed up all the time, when you're not like drinking all the time to deal with those things. Because what happens is you never do. Like your life just becomes drink, hangover, drink, work, hangover, drink, work, hangover. You never improve anything, and it's very hard to advance and move forward.
Yeah,
so I want
more numbing it than confronting it.
I'll make a comment and then ask my question. But man, I love what you said, that you keep going. I was an addict in my past life. Mine was street pharmaceuticals, and me personally, I was fortunate enough that the U.S. Army saved my life and my wife. I had an amazing woman that stuck by my side. But one of the things she tells me all the time, is you're an addict forever. Just because you go through treatments or programs, that thing in your brain and that chemistry in your body does not go away. And it's hard. And one of my things, I don't know if you ever experienced this, but is once you fix one addiction, it's hard not to move on to another one. Like I went through a scratch off lottery thing for about 6 months, the craziest thing, but I had to feel that thing. So I'm glad you said that, man. Like, you know, a lot of people don't think about that. I don't know if you know Nick Klingensmith. Do you know him?
I do. Yeah, he's been on the
Oh,
show. He sent me
he
his
was on the
book.
show. That's right, man. Another one of those fantastic people that said that. Question: do you still journal, man?
Um, not as much as I should, you know. Like I was writing more in that environment because you're trapped for like 6 days. Like when I went to go get treatment, I had just gotten fired from that job. It was actually in treatment that my counselor was like, "You know that podcast thing you mentioned that you're like, why don't you just do that in the meantime?" Like, and I was like, "No, it's a great idea. It'll sort of it'll sort of be like that." But no, I don't journal as much. But you know what? Like the thing is that's really saved me. Like you mentioned your wife and like my kids now. Like so much of my time is just spent like just chilling and hanging out with them. And my only journaling is on Twitter. My other addiction. You mentioned like when you're an addict, you have to like be a ball with a string, right? You have to have something that you're like addicted to. For me, that's unfortunately X.
Hey, we're all starting to get a little bit of the bug on that, man. That X is a great thing though. But also
Can be.
podcasting, you know, it's like, you know, almost like the lounge is almost like journaling in a sense. Like that, like me and
True.
Rob, dude, like our show gets so off the rails sometimes, but it's great though. You know, we spend our time, you know, getting down to the facts and, you know, doing what we need to do. But sometimes we just have our buddies on and talk about our day, talk about life, and it's a great way to just express, you know, like get yourself out there on the table and blow off some steam.
It
Keep
is.
yourself busy.
It's an outlet, and I'm sure you feel like that. I know that's probably part of the reason you got into it, man. Is it does, you know, conversing with other people and, you know, having an outlet with folks is really good. I personally don't journal. I've thought about doing it all the time, but my ADD wouldn't let me get three fucking lines into that. But
Yeah.
I'm a crazy person, seriously, certifiably, but I talk to myself a lot. Dude, it sounds, but I do. Like, I'll sit out in my garage or just whatever, and I talk to myself, like, not verbally, you know, sometimes, but just run through my thoughts and my feelings and stuff, man. And journaling is, I think it's like journaling because, you know, I don't know if you're like this, but you know, talking things out, you usually come to the solution that you need. You know what I mean? Once you get all of it out and you look at it, you're like, oh crap, that's where the issue is. You know, let me fix that and stuff. So, man, that's good, man. That's deep stuff, bro. Like, you
No,
know,
I mean, I'm with you on the podcast thing too. Like that kind of takes that sort of creative side, and that's where a lot of sort of the writing and just constantly like building something comes through. So there's not we are lounge lizards, not buddies. That is true, Stephen.
Yes, yes,
J
yes.
Mart, what's up, J
Justin,
Mart?
no, no, no.
Justin, I don't have 5 hours. You
Yeah,
can jump in after me if you want to keep this thing going for 5 hours.
no, no. No, we had a conversation with Justin about that at Matt's. It's like, look, 'cause everybody was like, "Oh, yeah, you're 9 hours. What was that?" I was like, "All right, that was out of control of Rob and I." Like, you get people like Justin, and you get freaking you get Ryan hopping in, and then Gordon McGill pops in, and like I don't know, that was just nuts. So Rob and I did have a conversation and said, "No, we
Yeah,
like to sleep and have our own personal time." It was
yeah,
fun, you know. You
yeah.
got to set some feats here and there, but
Next
no,
time you got
no,
to do it
no.
as like a fundraiser. Just like do like the 24-hour feed raising money for
See,
like
Rob,
whatever.
I'm
wonder,
telling you, I see.
yes,
I brought this up. I brought this up to Rob before because I've seen like you know some other podcasts that do it. Like Barstool Sports is one that I love to watch them. Like some of like they do you know the marathons and they're just great at their content. And I was telling Rob, I was like, dude, when we hit like a certain pinnacle, like I think it's like our like when we hit 10,000 followers, we're gonna do like a 10,000 second show, which I think turns out to be like what is it, Rob? Like 17 hours or something like that.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, and
absolutely
he's like, "No, I'll watch you for 17 hours." But I was like, "Dude, I'll sit here. Let's do it. There's
totally.
nothing stopping us." But
Like,
yeah, but no, yeah, we talked about Jeff doing that possibly, you know, like getting, you know, different shows across the nation, yada yada. But I mean, it is a powerful thing within podcasting. But I think we can all agree here, and Dooner, you probably more than us. You've had a few under the belt with the what is it, the snack hour, and the other one that you had with your buddy, and you know,
Yeah.
hell,
It's starting
even getting into
podcasts.
great waves, like you know, hitting that live button for the first time is tough. And like our first show, I actually was late for 15 minutes, and I come back and watch Rob on it, and then I just like watch our first few shows, and I'm like, oh my god, this is a dumpster fire. Like,
Man, my
why didn't people
first
tell us to stop?
My first show was like on that cheap equipment. I started with my buddy called Ryan Dooley. He left me after 9 episodes. Not sure what you're doing right now, Ryan. I hope you're good out there. Not with me. Not with me here, Ryan, are you? You could have been here with me, Ryan, but you're not. But you could have. So he fucking leaves me. And then I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life? And I was like, no shit, I gotta keep doing this show. Like, you know, like in like anything in life, when you sort of look back and you're like, that's a moment that nothing like there would like none of this, like I'd be doing something completely different right now. Right. Or like that was one of those ones, right? Because it's so easy. Someone like leaves you, you're not making any money. Like, let's go focus on something else. And then the next time I almost like got out of podcasting was I got to the point where it was like, okay, a couple companies were paying me to ghostwrite, but it was like $1,000 a month, like total between the two companies. And I'm like, I got 2 kids, you know, $12,000 is not going to make it very far. So I'm doing all these interviews. I went to like Blue Grace and I went to DSV, and they all, like I mentioned the podcast to all of them. They're all like, you'd have to stop the podcast. I was like, fuck. So I did stop, but then I started a different podcast called Snack Masters Inc. just so I could continue like producing and like keeping the repetitions going. Because you guys know, it's like going to the gym. Like this is all, you have to have the muscle memory. You have to like, the more you do it, the less friction there is. You grind all that friction that tells you not to do it. And I'm so happy I started the show with like a buddy I never met. I just knew him on X. And then we just like did the show and kept it going. That guy too, right? It's the best way to meet people. Just start a podcast. Then Aborn and Company hired me. So then that's how I kind of got professional. And after a year, I interviewed Craig at Freightways, and he's like, I'm building a podcast network and TV network. Do you want to come to Tennessee?
But you know, it goes to show, man, you know, that perseverance, you know, it always wins. You know what I mean? You find something you like, and even if you got to do something else, you know, you just keep doing it, and you know, eventually things come around. If that's your goal, if that's what you're working to, you know, obviously, if not, nothing's going to happen. But you know, I mean, that's cool, man. That's Hunter and I, man. We came up with this whole thing in an afternoon on LinkedIn, and that wasn't even why we started talking. It was literally Hunter trying to find if I had any drayage customers, you know, or people that did drayage, they could help them. And I was like, no, man. But while I got you, I'm thinking about this really stupid idea. What do you think about it? And yeah, so but
yeah, why not?
Yeah,
got nothing else going on. Like, seems like
I'll tell you something, guys. I've done 705 What the Trucks. I did another show called Freightways Insiders. I did 50 episodes of that. I did 217 Freightways Morning Minutes, which were just like 1 minute. I've done a shitload of shows. There's a lot of, I always tell new creators, they get down or like something's not working. It's like, you got to make a ton of shit, man. This is like baseball. You know, if you're hitting 289, you're doing good. You know, a lot of the stuff's not going to work. It's just not. You're not going to get the feedback you need. Like, that doesn't mean you should stop. That means like just learn, keep refining. Podcasting is a very long road. Like, don't do this to get like rich quick unless you're like already a celebrity or something. Like, no one's gonna. It takes a lot. It takes a long time to build an audience, to build trust with sponsors, to build all those things. So if you're out there and you just started creating, like, don't flip out. It's just chill.
I'm gonna work backwards on what you just said, man. So we just do this for fun. To be honest with you, like Hunter and I have come to the agreement, you know, like, dude, once this quits being fun, you know, and we stop enjoying ourselves and it's too much, like, that's where we need to stop. And that's all we do. We just have fun. We like hanging with the homies. That's all it is, man. You know, it's just coming together and hanging out, having a good time, maybe having some informative or informational conversation, or, you know, maybe we just talk about, you know, what your dog was doing today. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's also making the goofy memes and videos, you know, and just meeting new people. And like, I don't know, social media is such an interesting thing. Like you're saying, Dooner, like, you know, you can think you have the best video ever, or like the best short, or the best post, and you're like, this is going to be the one. Okay, I'm going to post it up at this time because the internet says that this is when the algorithm starts really catching on and people are going to see it. Post it up and it's got 2 views. And then you just post up, you know, some random shit on the wall, and it's like, boom, blows up. And it's
you never know.
Like, you never know. So it's shout out to J Mart on this. Always be posting. Reed's a big advocate on that. Dooner, dude, watching you, and even Dad too, man. Just always retweeting, always posting, always being engaging, you know, and just getting your name out there. And like, at that point, it's, you know, because this is like a second job for Rob and I. This
Yeah.
is your job, like
Of
it
course.
takes a
Yeah.
lot more, but it's like it's fun, it's not like I've always said, like any bad day in logistics, any bad day doing this, at least I'm not an accountant. I'm not
Oh
going
yeah.
at my desk crunching numbers all day long, getting,
I
overtime
mean,
hours with minimum wage pay, like just to sit there and crunch
dude,
numbers.
I've been in some dark places. I've been in some bad places. I've been in, and I've also been in some boring places in logistics. So anytime I'm like working on a show, even if I get sort of frustrated or the grind is starting to get to me, I'm like, it's very easy for me to reset myself into the mind frame because I just think back to like, okay, what was I doing before? And it's so much easier.
I'll pull this back to our addict talk a minute ago, man, and see how you feel about this. But we were talking about something in place, and like this is really become my healthy addiction. And also, man, like I like to be creative. And, I think as we become adults, you don't get as much time as you would like to be creative in whatever ventures, whether it be woodworking or painting or podcasting. And like this allows it for Hunter and I, man, to make memes and videos and all these stupid things, you know what I mean? And whether it gets one like or 20 or 50 or 1,000 likes, like, I don't know, it fills that void and it gives you something to, kind of look forward to. And I guess you would say like a pride thing, it's like, man, I was able to put my attention and focus on this and, make something at least I think is cool. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't know. It's also like really good for the mental health too. Cause Rob, I know you and I like we got a pretty, like we've talked about our, backstories and history and our lives, leading up to this point. And it's like you can be having the worst day ever. But once we click live on here, or once, we hop in the lounge and we're just like working on stuff, like all that goes away. It just pulls all the shit out in front of your eyes. And it's like, okay, let's, day by day, like we have something bigger than us that we're working on and it's fun and it's, I don't know. It's interesting, man. It is cool. It is really cool to see because, like you said, Dooner, this is the second-rate hotel. There's not one normal person that I know that truly works in logistics, but all
They're
the
great
people that I
people
meet
though.
are fucking great, dude. Everybody's got everybody's their own character. Everybody's got their own story, like their own little kinks and one-offs, and it's great.
It's like the Ba on Tatooine, and it's just a collection of characters at the big spaceport of life. Speaking of who like inspires you guys, for me it's Space Ghost. Space Ghost Coast to
Ace
Coast.
Oh,
Coast.
Whenever I produce an episode of What the Truck, I think about Space Ghost. Honestly, 100%.
you are so awesome, bro. I've not thought about Space Ghost in so long. I used
Is
to watch the
all right.
shit
Is
out
that
of
the one
that
that was on
show.
Adult Swim, or is that like a rip off of the original Space Ghost?
Well, there's one like in the late '90s on Cartoon Network, and I think it
Okay.
was Adult Swim. Yeah, yeah, there's Space
Yeah.
Ghost, and like
Okay. Yeah.
you'd interview Macho Man and Brack, and
Absolutely.
I
Well,
don't
I'd
know, man.
say I
If
don't know.
I
For
mean,
me, man. Well, all right, Rob. I'll let you go first. I'll let you go first.
no, man, no, go ahead, brother. I'm
Oh,
fine
well,
with
I'm just thinking, like, I don't know. Anytime we do this, like when we first started doing it, it's like I think about, and I love what you brought up, Dooner, about like the WrestleMania. Like, I want it to be this big event, like monster truck Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Like, but also in our little bar. Like, I think about the Logistics Lounge as like a bar. But I mean, the inspiration to it, like, even with us going on a little, like 15 minutes later, like it's like a band. Like everybody's out here, everybody's getting excited, and we're going on just a little bit late, and people are in the chat like, "When the fuck you guys going on? Like, we've been waiting all day." And it's like, "All right, yeah, here we go." And you click that button, and it's boom, like the free flow of it all. I just like the excitement of it, like bringing something different. Like you were saying in that TED talk, it's like logistics is inherently boring, but like bringing a little entertainment to it. Like when I got family members and friends like talking to me, like what are you doing on there? Like, yeah, I'm like I'll watch it every now and then. I'm like, well, thanks for tuning in. And then it happens
yeah.
a little bit more and more and more, and it's neat. But
I think a
I
lot of
don't
people
have
presented it boring. Like it used to just be presented. And I think that's why even that company was like, there's no good logistics podcast. And there really weren't. There's nobody on the scene in 2016 except for like, who was out there back then? Nobody. There was just like, there was a couple shows that were like stripped audio from webinars. And then like around the same time, I think Adrian Garcia, myself, and then Sarah Barnes Humphrey all kind of started shows in different parts of the world. But like 2017 was a big, like when I look back at this scene, 2017 was when a bunch of shows started coming online. 2020 was when a lot came online because of the pandemic. And then there's been like this 2023 wave that you guys and a few others are a part of as well.
Hey, don't put us in any category there, Dooner. All right, we are the lounge.
Right. Don't, man. Don't do that. That's horrible. I'm playing. Justin, I'm telling you, Justin, you are just an encyclopedia of knowledge that will never make you money. No, I'm playing, bro. Justin
he needs to go to one of Joe Wiesenthal's trivia nights down in New York.
He would kick ass. Justin, I know you know Justin. He's an incredible person, man. He is so
I know him. Of course I know him. I hired the motherfucker 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know you know him. So he's a great guy, man. We like Justin. He's been a huge information source, man. Like, that guy, he knows so many things when it comes to social media and marketing type stuff and everything. So he's been fantastic. Drives me. I don't have really, I guess, an individual besides, the obvious cliche, my wife and kids. I'll touch on that in a moment. My dad is a lot of my driver. Like, I wouldn't say I idolize him, but I do. I mean, he's just really he was really successful, made a good living for himself, and he's very humble. And I don't know, like, I just kind of want to be like him, have a successful life and make a good living and be able to retire and just enjoy the fruits of my labor. But my real driver is, I grew up in the hood, extremely, extremely poor, like a lot of other people. Not saying my story is different from others, but my thing is, I want to get as far away from that as possible. And I don't mean like geographically. I mean, I had times where literally, we didn't know where our meal came from or whatever it was. And I want to get as far from there as possible. I never want to have to worry about a meal or my children or lights or taking vacations or doing all these things. And to me, that doesn't mean being rich. That just means getting as far away from that type of worry and thought that I may fall back into that life as possible. And also a legacy, man. And I don't mean, again, no fame or anything like that, but just a personal legacy. I don't want to be one of those people that dies and, my kids are looking back and like, or people I know are like, man, what did that guy really do? He was a freight broker. He drove a truck. You know what I mean? Like, I just want something to leave behind and say, man, like, I did this, So, and again, no fame or fortune or anything like that. It's just a personal thing. I feel that everyone should leave something behind. People are going to remember you for who you were, your family and stuff. But, it's cool for people to think about something like you, man, when you leave this earth, Dooner, and people think about logistics podcasts, like, they're like, man, do you remember that guy, Dooner, that was on 50 years ago, man? Like, he really got this space started or whatever, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my two things: getting as far away from poverty, my impoverished life, and just trying to leave some type of small legacy for myself and my children, and maybe even some money, man. You know what I mean?
Not Space Ghost. Just yourself. Hunter, do you have a human being you can point to? I don't know, is he human? A cartoon even?
I have this beautiful Cascadia that Spud sent me. CEO Spud sent me. No, I mean, I guess I missed it on the head. Who would I think of in that sense of Space Ghost? Let's see. It is probably a Ricky Bobby. I'd like to be like a Ricky Bobby, just a crazy guy out there. He's he went through his trials and tribulations and found out that it wasn't about anything else but me right here inside. You got to face them fears and get out there and do what you need to do. But also probably like let's see. Who do I have around me that I can point to? I don't really have anybody. As you can see, I love music. So, going back to the band thing, I don't know.
Who's your favorite band, man? Who's your favorite band?
Favorite band. That's a really tough question to answer. I'm going to be.
You need to have. See, you guys have to chamber this. If you're going to be live on air, there's certain questions people are going to ask you, like, "What's your favorite ice cream? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite?" You got to have that. You got to have that ready to go.
Okay, favorite band, probably Pink Floyd. I'd
All
say
right.
Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd for starters, and then I mean that's my old school though. New school, man, Widespread Panic all day long. Big jam band guy. I will get down with JB and the boys any day of the week. Favorite color, green, hunter green to be exact. Just kind of works with me, man. And then favorite ice cream, probably Rocky Road. Rocky Road's good.
Do you know that there's a pretty big emo scene in logistics, and there's actually a few professional signed artists who have companies. One of them is Aaron Peck at Mothership, who is
Really?
signed his emo band was signed to Interscope. Jordan Dickerson, he played with a band. He's on X as well.
What
Frank
bands? Because
Zuberi, who's with Amazon now. That dude is a wrestler and a rocker. There's a pretty good hardcore.
what bands? Because I was into that space, you know, like back in high school and shit.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
yeah, man. Some of the heavier stuff for sure. I love that because you know Douglasville, Georgia. I mean, Atlanta's got like a big scene for that. You know, some of the heavier, not so much emo, I guess, more hardcore, you know, metal type stuff. But
The kids are back into it now, dude. I was in the CBD shop the other day, the Delta 8 shop, and they were blasting they're blasting like Rise Against.
oh
It's
yeah,
like,
let's
oh
go,
man, I haven't
dude.
heard this. It kills you not to know me. That one. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I,
see,
I
that's the stuff I grew up with, man. Like I saw Incubus last year. Like I'm trying to see A Day to Remember coming up this year. Creed is coming to
In
Nashville. I'm going to see
in
Creed.
Vegas, they realized that like all uh like young Gen X, old millennials, like that kind of grew up with like all those bands that are putting on the big festivals now. Like Vegas has one, and it's all like 98 to like 2004 bands.
Yeah,
Like
what
everyone
is that?
Limp
I know
Bizkit,
exactly what
System.
festival you're called. What was it? When We Were Young? Is that the name of the
Yes, that's the
festival?
one. That's the one.
Yeah, dude. And they need to break that up though, because I think it was like one or 2 days, but like 75% of the bands on there, like I would want to
I'll
sit
tell
and
you,
watch.
band festivals are a scam. I've been to Coachella twice, and they're a scam. Like you never get to see like they'll like you see the bill, and there's all the bands,
Yeah.
but like all the top headliners, when you go, there's 3 stages. So like
Hmm.
there's 3 headliners playing on the same day. Good effing luck. They're all playing at the exact same time.
Yeah. Or they'll like stack it up like halfway through one, and then you're having to like
Ugh.
run across, and then you just miss it. Yeah, that stuff's
The
annoying.
Vegas one too. It's like in a parking lot in freaking
Oh
Vegas,
God.
and everyone's like in all black. It must smell worse than Max.
Dying out there. Well, I mean, I wish they would bring back Warp Tour because
They
Warp
need
Tour
to.
seemed like the one where they had it down, and then they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
3 days,
Nobody likes that
one
kind of
stage.
music anymore. The kids just like bullshit music these days.
Yeah, they like the TikTok rappers. Well, Rob's kid knows about that stuff.
Yeah.
bro, my kids are into that crazy. Talking about the emo stuff. I mean, Dooner, you and I are pretty much same age. I love how they just rebranded it. It's like when I was young, it was called being a goth. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah.
And but I love how now emo has spread over to like all kinds of genre of music, like rap. Like my kids, I call it metal rap or angry rap. It's like, dude, why are they so fucking mad? Like, why do they sound so mad and they're rapping about love? I don't get it. You know?
Dude, so I saw there was an amazing documentary on HBO about Juice World. There's actually a really
uh,
good one about Little Peep too. They're like those SoundCloud rappers
I've
that
seen
got like
that
really
one.
Hmm.
big, and they took emo and rap and they combined it, and like Little Peep and Juice World though, like their music I never thought I would listen to, and then like I threw some of their tracks like into my playlists on the Spotify, and it's like I can see why people like that stuff. All right, the kids
I
are they all
like
died though. The problem is like those
Y-
2 guys died.
I
Yeah,
like
they got bet
I
on
like
them drugs. Yeah, but that's a good point though, because it's like I used to hate it. I was the biggest hater on all that type of music. So I'm like, oh, it's not the same as what we had. We had Fallout Boy and My Chemical Romance, but then it's like, all right, let me take a step back and put myself in their shoes today. If I was an angsty, 16-year-old in high school, would I like this? And it's like, yeah, probably. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you'd
not
have a Little
terrible.
Peep shirt. You'd
I'm
have you'd have some face tats.
I
Yeah,
listen.
oh, we're on our
I
way.
listen. I used to listen to Juice World, and I still listen to Little Peep. I don't so much anymore. Personal story. Don't want to get into it. It just gives me memories I don't like to revisit.
Oh, I bet.
But I love Suicide Boys. My kids turned me on to them. Man, I really like them. I don't listen to a lot of new music, and it's not because of generational thing. I just come from an era of music where music was still at its core where stories were told and there was a point to the fucking song, and it just
Hold
wasn't.
on, he didn't just show us a piss jug, did he?
Well, I was answering King Spud. It could be a piss jug or it could be a gallon of lemonade.
Okay.
It just got eliminated. I was on the phone with him when he went through drive-through, and he was like, "Rob, this lady just looked at me, and I was nuts when he said, I want a gallon of lemonade."
Yeah, she gave me a look.
Anyway,
But hey, there's
I don't
nothing wrong with it. Shout out Piss Jug Man.
yeah,
Line
we
of
gotta have him on the
56.
show.
Selena, right?
Yeah, you
Selena
know,
53 truck
Oh,
stop.
53, yes, sir.
To go back, my let's see, depending on genre, favorite in hip hop, band Bone Thugs and Harmony, huge
Outcast.
fan.
Outcast all day.
Outcast is cool, man. I love Outcast. They're from the South. They're from ATL. I love some Outcast. They are incredible lyricists. Singular individual, y'all can say cliche all you want, but I grew up on his music. Tupac, man, like that dude he is a deep, 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 deep thinker and an artist, especially if you know anything about him. Like that guy is, man, just awesome. I don't know, rock, again, cliche. I love Metallica, but I grew up following all of their stuff, man. You know, I absolutely love them. I do not like anything past Reload. I don't like any. I don't like Saint Anger. None of that joke. I feel like they tried to move into a genre they don't like. But I love some Stevie Ray Vaughan. I don't know if you get down with blues, man, but I like some blues, and Stevie Ray Vaughan is definitely one of my favorite. Country, George Strait, all day, every day. King George. I mean, you can't hate on King George. So, ice cream, chocolate chip, color, orange, specifically burnt orange. You know what I mean? Hook 'em horns. So there you go.
Your Bone Thugs and Harmony like awakened a Christmas memory. I don't know if you guys ever played SOCOM 2 back in the day. But one Christmas I got like SOCOM with the modem, and I put on there's a level there called Crossroads, and every time you play that level, there's always some person who would just be like, "See you at the crossroads, my Uncle Charlie." Like just nonstop when you're playing that game.
Dooner, did you know that old Pedro used to actually have a rap career back in the day?
Oh, are you like the next Trey Griggs? Drop some bars.
Nah, I can't.
Next
man.
year at Matt's, Rob and I have already discussed it. So when I first picked him up from the airport, we first time meeting each other, so it's like, all right. So I'm just playing some
loves to
classic rap. Oh, dude, old school hip hop.
Trey Griggs, just anywhere you see the guy, like just be like, "Hey, Trey, will you rap it?" He'll like,
oh yeah, dude, we saw.
He won't be like, "Oh no, next year at Matt's" or any of that nonsense you guys just pulled on me. He'll like immediately just jump into some song. Like, dude, on air too. I'm like, all right.
Seeing him at Matt's, what is it, the dive bar, dude? Yeah. Killed it, and put it out there. And the guy that wrote the song actually like found out about it and got in contact with him. He's like, "That's the best white boy cover of that song I've ever heard."
Yeah. We have Trey's coming on Friday. Matter of fact,
Trey's a cool guy.
Josh, I can't drop no bars, man. I've been out of practice for so long it's not even funny, but I've said it on the show before. Hunter has heard me rap, so he can attest. Dude, in the town that I'm in, I'm telling you, me and my boy Chaos, we were known in this whole city as the freestyle kings. Like nobody could touch us. We destroyed everybody.
What's your voice? Like, can you at least get some voice or cadence? Like, are you like like that kind of rap? Or
all right, so the song they did, I want to be a player. I want to be a baller, dude. That cover.
Yeah, we
do a couple bars, Rob. Do a couple bars. We're live with Dooner, man. Come on.
No, man, I can't because it's got some verbiage in it, dude, that I don't know, man, kind of goes against some of the stuff we were saying. But I don't know. I guess the first part of it, man, is the hook. Want to be a player, not a hater. Complete lost it. There you go. See, I don't know. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I got it.
Yeah.
It is live though. It is lively. It is lively. I promise y'all would never lie.
Yeah. I was able, like I said, man, you can hear me say it, but Hunter can attest. My wife, she can come in here and tell you, man, we used to shut it down, bro.
Hey, how about we make a deal here? So next year at Matt's or whatever fest or whatever conference.
You're trying to dig up my song. I already know where this is going. You're trying to dig this shit
up. So we'll get Dooner to do his cover and Rob will do his cover.
That's right.
And I'll sing Strawberry Wine or something like that, just to mix it up. I'll just break it up a little bit. I'll go first.
Now, guys, I'll be honest. I haven't caught every app. This may have came up during the 8-hour logistics lounge. I might have missed it, but I don't think you've ever covered this important topic. And I want to throw it at you. Do men in logistics post too many selfies on LinkedIn? I'm of the opinion that I think they do.
I don't know.
Too many selfies. I've seen a few. I don't really pay attention to them too much. But it is an interesting topic. I don't know. If it's funny, I don't care. But honestly, I don't care if you're wearing like a nice suit and tie and you're going to a meeting. I don't really care to see that.
Yeah. Really? Is there like a selfie per day limit, selfie per week that a man can post?
I mean, to each their own. To each their own. Like,
yeah.
I think if you have like a dog or a beer with you, or like a guitar, if there's something else involved with it, that's cool. But if you're like in the mirror,
look, you guys are just a little more progressive than me. I thought we were going to talk some shit here, but that's all right.
No, I'm not.
Well, we can dig into it, man. You're just throwing it out here.
I really never got onto the selfie train. I don't know. I'm of the frame of mind, like if it's a selfie, there's something relevant that you have to see me facing myself. When it comes to a guy posting a lot of selfies, I don't know. That is kind of weird. Like I think selfies period are weird. Like God, I'm gonna say God made mirrors, but mirrors have been around for a very long time. If you want to look at yourself, go stand in your bathroom. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the world really does not care. Like I don't know.
What's your take on selfies, Dooner?
I mean, like sometimes they make sense. I don't personally like to take a lot of selfies. Like usually when people send me gear, I don't even take a picture of myself wearing it. I just take a picture of the gear. I don't really like, even though like I'm like on TV, I don't really like to look at myself like most people. Like I don't mind the sound of my voice. I just don't like the look of like me as a human being. So I don't like to look at like myself.
I was just about to say that even though you're on TV, you got a face for radio.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, man's on Sirius XM. He's making the transition. He said, right. I won't look at myself, but I'll listen to myself all day long.
I'll listen to myself. It's true.
You got this.
That was the weird part about going on camera at first, because like when you're doing like just no camera on podcasts, you can be in like, I remember one time Jet McCandless, the cameras weren't working. And Jet was like, because I was like, I don't know, in a cut off sleeveless t-shirt or something, Jet from Project 44. LinkedIn is full of fluffers. That's what Dad of Roadside. He's right. Only God made mirrors. LinkedIn is for fluffers. This is true. Only good mirrors are above the bed. Also true. Unless there's
this show is going off the rails. Mighty.
You ever see Basic Instinct? That had like that big mirror. Remember in the beginning, had the big mirror, and like she took the ice pick, she fucks him up.
I don't know. The only
too young, Hunter. You weren't a kid during these when you were like a 14-year-old back in the day, getting a copy of Basic Instinct. Then you go in the woods, and then you might find a magazine too. Like that was you. We didn't have a website we could go to, Hunter. We had to go in the woods like real men. We had to forge in the hovel of a tree like a real man to find our porn back in the day.
The old crusty pages underneath Dad's bed. Yeah.
No, man. You don't know in Nashville. We used to.
I will say that one of the moments that one of the things that I dislike about my wife when we first got together and started getting serious is she threw away my collection of Playboys. And I'll say this. I actually really was a connoisseur of them. I loved them, and I only bought special issues. I used to have the issue with Sable. You're a wrestling fan, Dooner. Sure. I know you remember Sable from back in the 90s, man. Yeah, when I had that and, and all these other ones. So, man.
Yeah, but Playboy's more pop culture, man. Those things carry value, it's
not anymore. Did they even go back to print? I know they decided to go digital only.
I don't know, man. After old Hugh died, it's not been the same.
Yeah, his son or someone took it over, and they ruined it. But,
Craig Fuller's been buying a lot of magazines. He has not bought that particular one yet, though.
Maxim.
That would be an interesting assignment.
I loved Maxim. Dude, no, Chris, Maxim was the one for the articles, man. And Playboy did have some good articles, man, when they used to have that highlight corner every month. But Maxim, that was a freaking good one because I think you could buy that one at any age. I loved Maxim, dude. I never forget my favorite article in there, and I have never got the opportunity to try this. But they used to have a section in Maxim about pranks that you could pull on people. And one of the pranks was to take cardboard and cut it out in the shape of like weapons and put it in your buddy's baggage go through TSA, and
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never had the opportunity to do that.
I'd say it's a little bit too late for that. Unless you really don't like the person.
Oh man.
Yeah. Freaking the TSA took away my wingman away from me, by the way. If anyone has a spare weatherman tool, send it my way. TSA stole mine.
They tried taking my I have my son's ashes in a bullet here, and they tried
Wow.
taking that away. And I straight told the guy, I said, "You're not taking that shit away." I was like, "I will not get on this flight." And so they ended up letting me in, but they're crazy strict, man, about stuff.
Dude.
I will say that my thought on the drinks though is because there's a conspiracy, and the TSA gets kickbacks from all of the places past security that sell you $5 fucking sprites.
Oh, dude. I've the two craziest TSA experiences I've had. My dad worked for Delta, so like I've seen it all. But like one time I was just going through, flying up to Chicago for Christmas time, and all I had in my bag was just a bag of gummy bears. Or actually some Trolleys sour gummy worms. They pulled it out, busted that shit open, and took them out to test to see if there was bomb dust residue on there.
Wow.
I don't know why. Almost missed my flight. The second one is they found a can of Southwest water in my bag, made me wait for another 30 minutes, and they pulled this up. They said, "What is this?" I said, "I don't know. Ask your buddies out there on the tarmac." Took it, busted it open, emptied it out, left me with it. But I don't know. I don't know. They seem to pull some crazy shit on there. And like now you got these full X-ray things, which I've seen some crazy articles on. Apparently they can see just about everything that you got going on in there, but
Sears was the best magazine in the woods. Oh, like the bra section? Dude, no, I had you didn't live near Dirty Enough Fathers.
Yeah.
There's an art to it. Like I had a friend who was like the porn whisperer. Like he would go out in the woods, and he was like, he was like a Native American, like a wind whisperer or something. And he would be like, "Ooh, like that bush looks disturbed," and he would look for like the little signs of disruption that might be in like the hollow of a tree or like the crick of a log. And like
are y'all
this
talking
guy
about
found a
pops out
ridiculous
here
amount of
like hiding nudie mags like in
I think so,
fucking
yeah. Yeah, I would think that's what they do. So, here's how you go and find it. And I don't think you can anymore, but this is how you used to go and find it is like in the suburbs, you just go in the woods, like the tree lined woods behind anyone's house. And like, there's so many, I don't know if there was like an article in Playboy perhaps that told men how to properly hide their porn in the woods, but it's a thing.
So this was a thing. This was
Yeah,
absolutely a thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, we're not making this up. This is real.
Dude, we had clubhouses, man. Like I grew up in the hood, so there was not very many wooded areas. So we would build clubhouses, man. We would go scrap wood from places that were remodeling or whatever, and we build clubhouses. And yeah, you would all the things you didn't want your parents to find, your cigarettes, if you smoked when you were young, your porn, like anything you didn't want your parents to find for real, you went and hid it in the woods. And here's the great thing is because back when we were young, kids played in the woods. That's just what they did. So your parents thought nothing about you going and playing in the woods. Like,
Oh yeah, there's nothing weird about it.
Yeah, nothing weird about it at all.
I mean, I used to hide beer in the woods in high school and stuff, but that was about it. But that's funny though, Dad. I would love to see just back in the day, my dad out in the woods just
hiding
around, got an old ammo box, just they won't
some
find
squirrel
you.
comes back to his house. He's like, "What the hell? There's a hustler in here."
Oh my god.
We go back to TSA. Hey, Dooner, I know you remember the glory days of flying, man. Gosh, I wish we could go back to that. Man, flying.
People could meet you and they could walk you, and like there used to be like in movies that you see. They always say the TSA they hate my cowbell. That always gets pulled out too.
Do they really?
Every single time, and I think it's just so they can make like a more cowbell joke because every single TSA agent has made this. It's sort of like the like face for radio joke. Like you tell somebody of radio, they make that joke at you. It's the same thing if someone says a cowbell. They're just like more cowbell. Every single TSA.
Did you ever tell them that you're the guy
that has the cowbell? I was like,
you're the guy.
I'm Will Ferrell.
Dude, you need to go through.
I have my own
ring for beer. Nice.
Dang. Yeah, dude.
I'm trained well at your house.
Go through dressed up as Will Ferrell with like the sweater just a little bit below your belly button.
Oh sure.
Just carry it through with you. Like I'm ready.
I got stuck in one of those situations once because I took a sweater from like a sweatshirt from one of these conference booths, and I think it was like, I don't know, it said it was an XL, but like this thing must have been like a medium because it was like I could barely get it over my belly button, and it was freezing out. I didn't have a jacket with me. That's why I took it in the first place. I felt fat shamed my entire flight home. I'm like, there's no way this should be.
I'm glad you brought that up, dude, because I have bought, and Rob knows who I'm talking about. I love you, Jason Raybine, but damn it, that a 2XL is not a 2XL from China. I don't know what it is. It is
it's a Chinese 2XL.
The sleeves are short.
Oh yeah, dude, I wish he still had it. He bought that shit.
I do have it still, bro. It is.
He washed it once and he wore it again, and the sleeves were like right here.
Oh man,
it's disappointing, and it's not. It doesn't make you feel any better, like clicking that 3XL, 4XL button, but it's like, look, the clothes are smaller, and everybody's like, look at that belly. You know, like, I'm not.
It's not really a 2XL. I know what a 2XL feels like, man. Those Chinese cuts, though, those shame the hell out of you because, like, you'll go on Amazon sometimes and you'll be like, oh, it's because it'll go to like 36X, and you're like, well, okay, what are the actual measurements on this? This is probably like an American 2X.
It's nuts. It's all.
They don't build them. They don't have a lot of like over 6 feet tall, 200+ pound men roaming around.
Well, that is the thing, dude. It's really the length of it all. Like, I mean, I'm like 6'1", Rob's like 6 foot. Dooner, you're like 6'8". Seems like you're a tall motherfucker. That's the one thing that I've learned.
You are fucking tall.
About this whole community. There's a lot of tall people out here, which is great.
Indy was someone I didn't think was tall. Like when I met him, I was like, damn, dude, I really expect you to be like 5'8", man.
Who?
Not many little guys in like the Freight X community. No, you don't find a lot of smaller dudes.
You know who's the Jolly Green Giant is Daniel Kors. That motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, I know you don't know. I don't know if you know, but Daniel Hunter can test.
Oh, dude, the size of the Undertaker. To put it in perspective, Dooner, he is like 6'8", 6'9", like a solid 350, like huge guy. But he's the nicest guy in the world. When he gets going, like, don't
Paul
get
is ridiculous. Paul is like ridiculously tall. He's got like at least
tall Paul for a reason.
Paul's ridiculous. All his pants are capri pants because nobody makes pants that long. So he just always looks like there's this one picture he got like a tracksuit, and like I think like the tracksuit leg pant like barely like went over his kneecap. It was a look.
Oh, dude, it's not wrong though, man. My first manager in logistics was a former, like, he played basketball at West Virginia, went overseas and played in the Euro leagues, and this dude was like 6'8", and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that guy was massive, but
it's disconcerting to like stand next to someone that has like that much height on you. You're just, what? Just go somewhere else. Like, stop standing next to me. It would be weird being like 5'2". Imagine like always like looking at everybody. That would be, I don't know.
I guess that's how Kevin Rutherford feels, but he's got that big energy about him, man. He's got that big energy about him.
He's got that big RV. When I see him sitting down lounging, so we're on equal footing. He makes good tomatoes.
I'll tell you one person I was surprised with was Robert Bain. Like, I don't know why I thought that guy was going to be like 6'4", you know what I mean? Like 350 pounds, man.
Oh, he fits the bill perfectly.
He's like 4'10", 350 pounds.
Yeah.
But like,
he's just a square. He's literally like a square human being with a beard.
And Nate was excessively tall. He's like, I don't know. It's weird how video even doesn't like do people justice on their height. Like Nate was. He was one of those ones like, oh man, he's 5'10", 6 foot like I am, and nah, he's like fucking 6'5", man. I was like, holy crap, dude, you're tall as shit.
Beast.
There they are. That's what I'm talking about. Wow.
She's not tall as shit. She's like normal height. I've met Cherie before.
Yeah. We saw her at Matt's. Ingrid, like I said, Ingrid was trying to introduce us to us, but the one time we saw Ingrid, she was standing on a chair yelling at people. And we tried finding her again, and we couldn't. And we went by She Truck and Sting a few times, but they were always in the midst of a podcast and stuff. So we were like, I'll bother them after.
That was hilarious about Ingrid though, because the one story she told us about Matt's was taking all these free drink tickets from people and then selling them for $20 on top of the chair, yelling. And the first thing we see walking into the auction hall is her just on top of the chair, just
Yeah.
food over here, burgers here, here, baseball and auction.
Yeah.
Wow. Living up to her reputation.
But
she's awesome, man. She's just solid.
hey, so
Anyway,
speaking of the auction, though, so
She worked
Dooner,
for me for a little bit. Actually,
you-
with Justin too, for a little while.
yeah, man, we were sitting at that
Building his
table.
site
But
team.
did you win that gun in that auction?
The gun? No, I was where I couldn't. I don't think I was even eligible to win it. Could I win it?
I
They
guess they were auctioning one
Oh, wait,
off.
are you talking about the Truck Park Club?
No,
Triple
not the
barrel
truck
shotgun?
parking one. there's a picture of you just waving one around, just having a good old time in the auction hall. I don't know. I thought you won it, but
No, I didn't. I didn't get a gun. That must have been like my doppelganger. I didn't get a chance to play with. I actually, a funny story. I was at the auction hall with the guys from Truck Parking Club, and Evan was like, "Dude, I think it's gonna go like until like 9:30 or so. I forget exactly what time." And he's like, "It's been a long day. If you want to go back to your hotel room, I'll call you an Uber." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to my hotel room. I got to do a show tomorrow." So he calls me the Uber, and I'm waiting for it. I'm looking for this guy with the license plate. His name's Hiatus, and the guy finally eventually comes. I jump in his car and we're going, and his GPS was like his destination. He said like the destination was like in 10 minutes, and I'm like, that's impossible. My hotel, even like with no traffic, is like 20 minutes away. So I'm like, dude, like where are we going? And he's like, are you like Alex? Turns out like this stupid bastard, he canceled my ride at Matt's, picked up someone else's, and then like still just drove right past me and picked me up, thinking I was the new guy. So I ended up in this guy's thing. We turned back around and I had to get picked up by someone else. But now I can see like how girls, when they're leaving clubs and stuff, they end up getting in like the wrong Uber or the wrong car and get killed. I don't know. You're looking for like white Camry, one pulls up, you get in.
yeah,
Andy,
I don't know.
I didn't get into wings. I was going to until you and Dooner and Reed and everyone's like, man, they're good, but they're cold.
Dude,
So
Yeah.
I
that
was
was
like,
the
yeah, I'm good.
craziest ensemble of food I have ever witnessed. Just a mound of chicken, and then those little potato things around the edge though were fucking gas. But yeah, every single bit of food I had at Matt's was cold, but it was all great. It's all great.
Just
They need some microwaves next year.
Pyramid of wings.
Yeah,
I told man, I think it was Kelly, the lady that ran that was in the media lounge. I had told her, I said, next year we need barbecue. Like, you did not do any barbecue, and this is Louisville. Like, we need some barbecue in here. So she said, she's like, I'm writing it down, and
I
she
would
did.
expect fried chicken. You're in Kentucky. Give me some of the Colonel's finest.
Well, they had
Look,
that fried.
by the way,
chicken.
advice to people coming to Matt's: get a media badge because the media room. Should we tell everyone this? Yeah, we'll tell them. Here's a little secret to those of you who are listening: get a media badge because at Matt's during the day, there's food served in there all the time. There's cold water, there's cold sodas and everything. One of the things that I always hate at conferences that happened to me at like Freightways one is that because I'm also working the event, I get so busy, like I miss the meal, or you go to eat and like everyone's just like talking to you. So you don't really have a chance to eat your food. And then you're like, okay, well, now it's like time, but like that, it's a little private. You can just like enjoy your meal. You can just relax a little bit.
Yeah, to unwind and not be around a million people because that social battery gets drained so fast.
You are playing this down. See, not everybody is a damn A-list celebrity in the logistics community. Hunter and I went to go get our media passes, and we had people backing us, like that already had media passes, like emailing, and still that guy Corey was like, drop me your links. I want to see your following. Here's the guidelines. And like we went back and forth for like 2 months with that guy before he was finally like, okay, we feel sorry enough for you peasant snowflake. the media room was
yeah,
awesome.
I just want some couches and an AC and a good place to charge up.
And it was like the only quiet place there. Like it really was. It was Hunter and I, we would like, dude, let's go back to the meeting room and let's just sit down, let's chill for a minute. And
yeah, go
and it was,
decompress for a second.
I have not done the math, but that media room probably saved me $200 in water and food bills at Max,
yeah.
dude. Because waters are like $4 a piece, and it was a great value. It was like I could buy a damn 24 pack for $4.
No. And like because like you're going like 2 or 3 hours between bottles of water because you're walking around so much, like one bottle is like that's just this. I need 2 other ones. After that, like the one is just to wet the whistle.
Dude,
Then I need like a dual-fisted sippy.
I was clearing them out of water. So I'm gonna tell you, I would go there and shove like 4 of them in my
Yeah,
bag.
I think the move next year is going to be a camel pack because a
Yeah.
backpack is not the move, and then just a fanny pack to carry around my essentials. You know, just a nice size fanny pack for the gimbal and cameras and whatnot. But yeah, that was a workout. Nobody explained that to us, and I've said like you can have a playbook on how to go about it, but oh, we're in the West Wing. Where's that?
Yeah.
Where is that? Where's the South Wing? I'm in the North Wing, and here says the West Wing and the East Wing, and then there's outside, and then
Hunter
you
and I,
walk outside, you get walked out.
the
A lot of
only
steps.
thing Hunter and I figured out was as long as you get to this one certain hallway and you walk in any direction, you eventually come right back to the place you started.
Oh wow.
We
Warp
did
zone.
figure that out, man.
All
That was
right,
crazy.
let's get to the comments here.
Yeah, I
So
was
from
about to say that.
Van Brocklin, are you going to the Texas Truck Show, Dooner?
Texas Truck Show. I'm not going to the Texas Truck Show. The next thing I'm going to is the Freightways event in June in Atlanta. I don't go out. We were talking about this before we went on air. I don't go to a ton of events, and the only reason why is it's really sort of disruptive. Like I do 3 shows a week. It's very news focused, and if I just something that was like once a week, maybe I can make video packages and stuff. But just for like the rapidity and the cadence, I have to really want to go in order to go. Otherwise, it just like I can just have people come on the show with me. I'm not going anywhere. Although maybe next year, because I went to Matt's this year, so maybe next year I'll check it out.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. I mean, it's a free event, man. We're talking to so Ryan's actually been in conversation with the guy that puts on the Texas Truck Show, Florida Truck Show, and the California Truck Show. I have no
Oh, wow.
interest in going to the California Truck Show. The Florida Truck Show looks pretty cool because it's in Miami. I'm a Dolphins fan, so go out there, check out the scene, maybe hang out on the beach a little bit, but it seems like a good time. But this one, I agree with Indy on this because I think I'm going. I know Indy's talking about
Van
going. There's going to be a lot of good
Van's
people,
gonna
man.
be
Large
there.
cars and guitars. It's right there in Kodak.
When is that? When's that happening?
May 9th through the 11th.
Yeah, Van Brown's gonna be there too. And dude, Redneck Trucker is gonna be there. I mean, I don't know if you know Redneck Trucker. He's a freaking hoot or whatever. But yeah,
He
they're
is the
going.
marketing of
Yeah,
Bull Snot.
it's going to kind of be a I know this term catches slack now, but it's going to be a good old boys chill time. You know what I mean? Just all the background people just hanging out having fun. I wish I could go. Hunter says it's an absolute freaking bomb. That's right, Spud. Barbecue at your place after the show. Already told my wife about it.
Hmm.
You just gotta let us know what we need to bring, man. I'll stop at Heb and grab sides or drinks or chip in on the meat. You just gotta let me know. I was actually gonna hook up with you on that.
Hey, I will say, Dooner, Truck Parking Club will be at Large Cars and Guitars.
Wow.
And then who's playing here? There's so Tony Justice is playing, and then Taylor's playing as well. I can never remember his last name. Taylor
Barker.
Barker. Taylor
Oh,
Barker's
okay.
playing. But yeah, it's 3 days, man. Out in the mountains. It could be a good family event. Get a little chalet up there in the mountains in the Smokies, and yeah, listen to some tunes. See some
I
trucks.
am sure that if he goes to there and says, "I need a chalet in the mountains," they're gonna have no fucking clue what he is talking about. The word chalet is going to be completely foreign because that's what
Oh,
it is.
not in Pigeon Forge or Gallenberg, man. That's the spot to be. It's
I
like a
know.
mini cabin.
I was just is Jeff Dunham's character Peanut. I was just saying the word chalet.
Mm.
Period.
So what is there to expect at F3 this year, Dooner? Because I guess we missed the meme competition, unfortunately. We just kind of like got full swing after the new year. And I remember someone tagged us in a post and they were like, you guys need to do this. And I had no idea. And that was the first day. So it
Yeah.
never got started. But what's going on at F3? What can we expect?
I have no idea. It's going to be in Chattanooga. I'm not on the events team, so I have no clue. They just go like, "Hey, you're doing what the truck this, and the event's happening when." So
Oh, so
that's my
after that's not the one in Atlanta. When's the one in Atlanta? That's
one in
Future of Freight.
Atlanta is June 4th and 5th. I want to say off the top of my head. I'm not really. If you go to live.for, there's the comments there. It's something like June 4th and 5th, and I'm not really sure. I know that I'm doing some what the truck and some radio from there, and see the usual suspects who stop by. It should be a good time. Last time we were in Atlanta for one of these events was actually my first show with Freightwaves in 2019. It's at the I think it's called the GIC, the Georgia International Convention Center.
Yeah,
that place. There's a Porsche ride thing going on there.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'd say I gotta go, but those people would never let me drive. I would be the one person that like they would ban ever from doing that. I would be taking that Porsche fucking sideways, dude. Like you're not gonna put me in a 400 horsepower car and let me drive 40 miles an hour. I don't think so. I'm gonna burn the tires off this bitch. You know what I
You,
mean?
you say that so you sign a contract, and they're like,
Dude,
if you do stupid stuff
Yeah.
like this, then you will have to
one
pay
of
for this car.
It's
one of the
extensive.
things
Those contracts are.
I bet they are. One of the things that I've always wanted to do until I found out they don't let you is I can't remember what they call it, but they used to call it like dream car rides. You know, you pay $1,500 and you go and you can drive Ferraris and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, oh hell yeah! And then I found out, oh no, you have a pacer car and they make you do the speed limit. And I was like, who pays $1,500 to do 60 in a Ferrari? Like that sucks. I could play Need for Speed for that kind of excitement. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Hear
not
ya.
trying to do that, man.
Yeah.
So, hey, talking about F3, man, is that held in the same place every year, man, or do y'all change it? And if so, where's the next one going to be at?
F3, I think is at it's this year. It's in Chattanooga again. It's been in Chattanooga for the
Okay.
past 2 years.
Okay.
I'm not sure how long that goes for. I'm not really the person to ask about events. The company Sonar owns the event side now, not
Oh,
my Freightwaves media side. So I have zero involvement other than like, I go and do shows from there. So I'm not 100% really sure. They haven't really briefed me on what's going to be happening. But
yeah.
I've been to enough of these Freightwaves events. They're all kind of the same. They're fun,
Yeah.
good group of
No,
people if
seemed
you're
like a
in
good
that kind
time.
of scene.
Are you
I was just
planning on doing your the Sirius XM show? I saw you did your first Sirius show at Matt's, correct?
Well, so no, my first I used to host Freightway Series show back in for a couple of years. Their Saturday show. We canceled that. Then the opportunity came up a couple of years ago to have a show back on the 5 p.m. hour. When Craig initially asked me if I want to do it, I said no. My boys are especially at the time they're 7 and 9 now, but they were 5 and 7. I'm like, look, that's when they get home from school. That's when I hang out. I don't really want a 5 to 7 gig. They do what the truck, and at the time they're like, no, we can't bring syndicated, so Grace took it over. But running an everyday show is very challenging, and our contract came up and we were able to rethink it. And this time when we repitched and we're like, look, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, how about you just play the what the truck that Dooner already records at noon in that hour? So it's there now. I did one live from Matt's because they were there, but my show is syndicated on Sirius XM. So
Oh,
usually
so it is just a recorded what the
if you're on a
truck
noon,
going-
you're on the radio show because they're going to replay it on there at 5. But once in a while, I can take it live. It's just like the goal of it is to take the What the Truck podcast and just increase the audience, outwards to the driver community who may not listen to podcasts or may have the habit of listening to Sirius XM, and you get to increase your reach by that much, which is fantastic.
That is super smart. That is smart because, like you said, I mean, doing it every day from 5 to 7, or even just 3 days a week from 5 to 7. I mean, when Rob and I started, we were going on, I think 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Yeah, and it was nuts. And it's like, dude, I want to go to bed.
That
But
was the dumbest idea ever. I remember the first show we did at like 3:30, and we got off at like 5:30, and we're like, dude, we wouldn't even be live right now.
yeah,
We
I can
got
do
time to
stuff.
actually
I can
eat
go
our
grocery
dinner.
shopping and do laundry.
It was sheet trucking. No, go search on.
Yeah, he was on.
He's
You're on
got it.
Leffler's 50th show. That's
I've
the
been
first
on.
one I saw you
I've been on
on. That was a good
few.
one, and a few others in the past. I mean, you're Dooner, man. You're all over the place.
I've been on a few. She just doesn't follow me around. I think she's trying to show shade on there. Well, the only podcast I've seen you on, sheet trucking, is my own because I had to look at you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh man, you mentioned Grace, man. Dude, I don't know how much you work with her, but you're fortunate to work with her if you deal with her on a consistent basis. She is just a really cool chick, man. Like Grace is awesome, and Hunter has the honor of giving Grace her first Zen.
Oh wow.
Zen pilled her in the media room.
A lot of
Met
women
her.
don't Zin, right? Like, and like Rachel Premack, she got a Zin at F3. It almost made her sick. But a lot of like, it's kind of just a guy thing,
Oh,
isn't it?
well, dude. So it was
You know any
interesting.
girl Zinners?
So we met her the night before because I had seen her on X and everything, and we were talking to Nate and old Robert Bain, and she was right behind them. She just pointed at us because she recognized the Only Freight hat. Shout out Only Freight. More to come, but she was like, "I want to be on y'all show." I was like, "All right, well, we got you next Friday." So the next morning, Robert in there in the meeting room eating breakfast and whatnot, and she walks out, and it's me, Rob, Indy, and the guys from Overdrive, and she was like, "Oh, I'm feeling rough. Like I'm in here. I have to type this article up." And old old Indy's like, "Well, you need to get you a Zen." She's like, "Well, I've never done one. I don't know what's going on with that." And I was like, "Well, here you go." And
Mhm.
just kind of peer pressured her into it. 15 minutes later, she walks back out and she's like, "I just knocked that shit out so easily." She's like, "I like this. I might get on that." But it is more like, it's like it's not like dip, it's just a Zen. It's just a simple pack of energy and a little bit of relaxation and gets you in the zone. But I think Zen's for everybody. It's sensational.
I only advocate for Zin for current smokers that help me quit smoking. So
Oh
obviously,
yeah. I mean, dude, even
current
even with
smokers, Zin
the
is great.
even with the
Or
with
vape,
the
yeah.
yeah, with the vaping, dude, I like Zens. I mean, I got my 3 cans right here. I very
Jesus.
seldomly.
They've made the salt like so good and so powerful that it's easy to it's easy to kind of quit smoking on it because you don't have any craving. Like it satisfies that really
It really
well.
does. Really.
I can't do any of that stuff. Like, I mean, I used to smoke, and then when I was in the army, I moved into dipping and stuff. And I don't know, I can't dip or I can't zen. And I even tried Camel Snuffs back in the day when I was trying to figure out a way to quit smoking, and I can't do them because I want to spit. Because like in my mind, it's dipping, because you feel that little bulge, you know what I mean? And so
Oh, you
I don't
can.
know, I can't. And
There's
the
just not much
one,
fluid though. Like
no,
right once you get
I
used to
know
Hunter, like you don't really even know it's there.
that's
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
just like another thing, but it's better than having a fat chaw of
I don't know.
Copenhagen in your lip
Once
for
in a while,
4
like you'll
hours.
hit it with like you'll have one, you'll kind of forget you put one in. It'll be like 15 minutes later. It's not a juicer, and your mouth isn't very juicy. And you'll take like a sip of water or Diet Coke or
And then
coffee or
it
something. You'll like
floods
it'll
you,
wash the salt like right into your bloodstream. And you're like,
dude.
oh, okay.
Yes.
I tried it that one time, dude. I told you I went and got that citrus flavor, bro, and I put it in my mouth. And I use mouthwash, and I always use the alcohol one, and that's what it felt like. Like I felt like I had this alcohol flavored patch or
I
pouch in my
understand.
fucking mouth. I
I'm
was
gonna
like, oh
help
my
you out.
god, like
Pedro, I'm
no.
gonna help you out here. You gotta get the smooth ones, and you don't have to put them here. You can use them like a suppository, and you can stick them up your ass. So get the smooth ones; they're unflavored. It's like don't do this with the citrus. You don't want to put a citrus up your ass. Trust me, I did it once. It's not a good idea. But you get the smooth ones; they're unflavored, and you just stick it right up there. And I hear you can leave it in for up to like 15 minutes.
Is this why you're anti-citrus, Dooner? Because I've seen
Yes.
you posting
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
I don't trust
Trust me.
anybody
Bad
that fucks with
experience.
citrus.
Justin and I, one time, it was just, we were experimenting. We were early
Oh my
Zinners.
god.
It was
There you
only
Oh,
go.
3 milligrams. You wouldn't go 6 up the ass, would you? Anyone in the comments ever go 6 up the ass?
Justin. I am just waiting on Justin's comment to clarify the experimenting with Dooner.
I'm trying to get him going. He hates citrus too. I don't think he'd stick a citrus up his ass.
Here, I'm actually gonna do one better.
Oh my god. I don't know. I went to Quick Trip, man, and they only had like the coffee flavor and citrus and something else. And I've done enough coffee flavored things to
Yes.
realize that the only thing
No,
that
the
tastes like
coffee ones
coffee,
are great though after breakfast.
dude, I've done enough coffee things to realize the only thing that tastes like coffee is fucking coffee. So
Yeah,
yeah, J Mart said citrus can go to hell.
it's true.
What is it?
They
What
get
is
better
it?
flavors overseas. Oh, Goose did a double six up the ass.
I know that's Spud. I don't expect anything less from Spud.
DOT will never find it up here.
But Zen is still the best. I don't know what other brands
Oh.
would be.
No, who was that I don't know if it was Dad of Two or somebody that had bought some from overseas where they were like 26 milligram or like 50
Oh
milligram.
my
Yeah.
god,
Dude, that would put
dude!
me in a coma. I would put that in, stand up, and probably knock my head out on this counter right here. That's
People
too much.
say that, but it's like with like edibles, right? You ever have like an edible, like they have like the head shop, and there's like the 10 milligram, and then people, oh,
Yeah.
that'll kill you. And then there's people who need like 1,000 milligrams. I'm on that edge of the spectrum with the Zyn. So it's like you gotta like line them up like a bandolay of Zyn, just like
I just want to say I will pay decent money to see someone consume 1,000 milligrams of fucking edibles and survive. Like I would so love to see that.
I'll volunteer as tribute.
Oh well, I'll do a podcast with Hunter on it. I'll barely be phased.
Not none of this Delta.
I think we have a guest that we could bring on for that, Dooner.
Yeah, none of this Delta.
We got to do the edible show. We'll just
Oh my god.
we'll eat edibles like an hour before we go on air.
Yeah, I'll come down to Chattanooga for that. I'll come down to chat for that.
No, I had my experience with that on the show. We're not doing that.
You did 1,000 milligrams? You ate 1,000 milligrams?
No, I took like 250, and
yeah,
I was like, "Oh man, I'm good." I staggered it for like 3 hours. I was like, "Oh man, I'm good." And then I went and got beer, and I only drink like craft beer, so all my shit's like 6% or higher alcohol level, which for a beer is pretty high. And I don't know, man. I got about 6 into it, and I have to go find the show. I'll send it to you, Dooner. And dude,
it was funny.
All of a sudden, my screen goes off, and my wife had to text Hunter. She's like, "Rob is not coming back on the show."
Wow,
that's great. It was in the early days too. Like, yeah, I didn't even know any of these people on here. It was like a bunch of drivers from Rob's Facebook group. We're just kind of like getting into the groove of things, and man just disappears.
Just disappears.
Screen on and everything, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm behind the wheel for a minute, and it was fun though. It was fun, but I think the 1,000 milligram, and that could be one of the marathon live casts.
Oh yeah,
just like let's see.
That would be the only way I would make it 8 hours, which is like chair lock, like 1,000 milligram. It's like just chair lock.
I'm not saying someone couldn't do it, man, but I wouldn't want to be the test monkey. I'm just saying all that much.
I mean, how much worse could it get? It's you'd have a good time. We could just bring in a bunch of vinyl albums and shit. I don't know. Who knows, man? You could watch a movie in the middle of it, do some commentating.
Hunter's got the lava lamp going in the background.
Bring back the snack cast. Bring back the snack
I got a lava lamp upstairs. I got one I can bring for you guys. Yeah, we'll see. It'll become snack. We'll just start picking out on some whatever junk food there is out there.
I'm gonna go watch those things, man. I heard you talk about that on one of the other podcasts. I'm gonna go watch those things because he said I just let my kid just try out snacks and see what happens.
I mean, that's fantastic though. That's smart because I mean, you see a lot of content creators nowadays. A lot of people on Instagram and whatnot, dude. Kids are money. Like they get.
Oh no, I didn't have kids eating snacks. It was me and my buddy were eating snacks.
Oh, okay. I'm understood.
Well, your 3-year-old would come on at the end and review them, no?
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
That is true.
Would they?
Well, he would like do like a skit at the end. He would just say something. I would take like something random I recorded from him that week, and I would like edit it up.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like, oh, this is cool, man. Dooner's the coolest dad ever. All right, buddy, we're gonna go eat candy for 3 hours.
My kids have a podcast. It's called I don't want to say my kid's name, but it's something the truck. I don't know everybody.
That's cool. Yeah, you don't
gotta protect the kids.
Put that out
but
there.
They got their own show. It's like internal. They don't put it online. They do it in the house.
That is cool though, man. That is interesting. So I mean, because I've heard Leffler talking about that with his kids, that he's getting them into the social media podcasting side of things. Is that something that your kids just picked up on from seeing you do what you do, or is that something that you're like kind of promoting them into?
I mean, like since like I started doing this stuff, especially since the version was on my kitchen table, like at the time my like 2 or 3 year old would see it there. So I have funny pictures of him like pretending like he's a podcaster and stuff. But yeah, I mean, they eventually got interested in it and they wanted to know how it works. So I initially like the first program they ever learned how to use on a computer was Audacity. And I
That's
taught
sick.
them how to record audio and how to save the audio and how to treat it a little bit
Yeah.
and then how to edit, and now they can edit their own stuff too. They've gotten pretty good.
Audacity. That's old school, man. I remember using that back in high school in my marketing classes.
Dude, I still use it. You know why? Because when I went, like, it reminds me of old school Pro Tools. I used to use Pro Tools in like 2000 through 2005, and there's the Adobe one I hate, the Adobe recording one. Reaper I don't like. Audacity is just super simple. And if you're only recording a few tracks that I have to manage, a couple vocal tracks, and then like I was like, it was perfect. I love Audacity for that, and it's free.
Yeah, it is free. That's it. That's cool though, man. I have to get with you on a few of the programs that you use because, speaking of Adobe, that's what we use to edit, most of like our video stuff and create most of our things. But I just know there's better stuff out there,
Dude, for
and
most of the stuff, like I do like a lot of it. Like a lot of the editing I do, like I just do an iMovie on my phone. I have an app that like rips clips and to like distribute those around social. But I mostly use iMovie like on my phone. I try to do as much on my phone as possible. Anything I have to open a laptop for, like there's less of a chance I will do
really,
it. So the more I can do something on my phone, the more I'm gonna get done because like the laptop's only open like a certain number of hours a day. I've always got my phone. And like when I'm watching WrestleMania or something, like, oh, I can edit a video while I'm doing this. So anything I can do on my phone can increase my productivity and my output, especially if like I'm just sort of doing it passively as something else is occurring on TV, which I do quite a bit when I'm like editing and just doing the sort of tedious part of uploading to social media.
you can do it on your phone. So are you a full on Apple guy or do you use a PC?
My computer's a PC, but like all my other stuff is like I have an iPhone and an iPad.
I'm with you on that. I'm not giving up to the man fully. I think
No.
I think Apple's good for what it does, but I don't like the computers. I'm a PC guy. But so questions that you asked us. Who's your favorite band, Dooner?
Growing up, like one of the reasons I went to Cal Arts was I was really into like what Trent Reznor was doing at Nine Inch Nails, and I was able to record a lot of that himself. And when I was like 15, I got my first synthesizer, so I was really interested in the like sort of production side, the one man band side, or working with a band to sort of make it all come together. So that's like where my interest came in, and I had to think who else. I mean, who now? It's so weird because I put on so many different. Like I know I told you I told you not to say that, Pedro or Hunter, and now I'm doing it myself. But I mean, if I had to pick one, if every band had to go away, I would just have to take. I'd have to take Nine Inch Nails catalog, and not even because I even like them that much anymore, because I don't. It's more like it's the feels too. It's just like that sort of like nostalgia. That
Yeah.
is like age 14 to 26 for me. I haven't liked anything that's come out from him since then, but it's like. Yeah, it's like comfort food, that old music.
Yeah.
I love when a good emo mix comes on. I'm like, when we were kids, you'd make fun of like the crust, like when I was like 20, you'd make fun of the person who's still into like heavy metal, like the 80s guy.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up to be that guy. I'm like late 90s guy. Like I have not progressed emotionally, intelligently, musically, artistically, in any way whatsoever since 1999.
Well, I'm with you on that. It's hard to, once you like it's like the core memories almost, like how it makes you feel. You hear a song and it takes you back to a time and place, of your life. And it's like new music, there is great new music out there and it's awesome and it's fun to listen to. And but like, man,
Dude, that's what got me into podcasts. I was like, when I was running the music industry, I would carpool with this dude, Jason Myers. Shout out Jason, awesome dude, still one of my best buddies. We would carpool in through Hollywood. It was like an hour something ride, and they had a station there called KTLA, which was FM talk radio. And Tom Likas was on there, Frosty, Addy and Frank, Howard Stern, and just a few talk radio people. And we worked to music, we had to hear it all day, and we get so sick of it. And we just want to hear people talk. Well, then when I moved to Boston, I didn't have a car. So I'm walking, and that's when I first discovered podcasts. When I started listening to Bill Simmons' podcast, because I could listen, you could just download it and then you could walk with it. You didn't need it. And back then, this was like 2007-ish. There weren't, you didn't have you couldn't stream yet. You'd have to like download the episode, but it was awesome. I would listen to it on that. I get sick of music a lot. Like I get anxiety in the morning sometimes when it's like, I like that they have that station button now, like on Apple Music and Spotify. You just hit the like just play things it thinks you like.
Yeah, the DJ on Spotify is
music, and I'm a little sick of it.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
A little burnt sometimes.
I can feel that because, you know, trying to find new music, and then you listen to the same things over and over, it gets pretty tedious and it's just bland, which sucks, but, you know, the podcasting is great. I do like that. And it's funny you bring up Howard Stern because that guy was probably the first podcaster, I guess. I don't even know if he was a podcaster at the time, but like, wasn't supposed to listen to him, wasn't even supposed to know who he was as a kid, but like, I wanted to hear that guy. And it's funny. It's funny stuff, but cool.
I mean, the real god, like Bill Simmons is one of the godfathers. He was like one of the first people to go on the sports guy. Bill Simmons, he's one of the first people to go on it. He was with ESPN. Yeah, ESPN. They put his podcast on there. He pushed big to put on Adam Carolla, another big one. He was actually on that KTLA station. That station, that FM station got shut down. And Bill Simmons said to him, and I think this was 2008-ish, he was like, you need to start a podcast. Like, you can still be on radio. You can be on your own radio. And that's how Adam Carolla got into podcasting. And now it's like, what? That was 2008. It's 2024 now.
Yeah, we're still in the pioneer days of all of this. It's crazy.
It's like 18 years ago.
Yeah, that's cool.
16 years.
What's your least favorite mode of freight?
My least favorite mode of freight. Geez. You know, I used to do both air and ocean freight, like import entries, and I loved air so much more because the folder would be off my desk. The thing I hate about ocean entries was that they would take like 30 days to be on your desk, and the longer it's sort of there, the less emotionally attached I become to it, and like the less I'm thinking about it. I have really bad AD, like HD. So with an air freight shipment, like I can't, if I'm only dealing with this for like a day or two, I'm not gonna like forget anything. Like the gray file's here, I take it, I scan it, it's done, it's dispatched, like cradle to grave, out of my face. So I loved air freight. I hate anything with a long tail. I hate like long tail ocean, anything you gotta babysit for too long.
Yeah, I can resonate with that on the ocean side of things. And it's stressful because you do get emotionally detached from it. And then when it gets to port and then it gets held up at customs or there's just something wrong with the back end, the paperwork, or like it does get stressful. But within that, so I did see, you know, Craig, he's a pretty freaking intellectual guy. And I didn't know that he was into, you know, all these just a media guy through and through. And it's slipping my mind. What's the main domain? Because I know he's got the maritime side of media coming out.
Firecrown's like the parent.
Firecrown, that's it. That's
now where Freightways Media is under Flying Magazine. He owns about 52 publications now.
That's incredible.
Yeah, in January we had like a meeting, and it was overwhelming, like trying to just sort of learn all these parts and particulars, especially like for me, because I'm thinking creatively, like how can I help maybe enhance some of these other brands, bring what I've learned from the Freightways side to help enhance like a flying or a boating brand. And it excites me because there are things I don't necessarily get to touch all the time. And it's a different way to sort of use this, use what I'm doing. But yeah, he's always busy doing something, Craig.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was kind of getting into, you know, hearing that, you know, you love the air freight and you've worked with the maritime, which I mean, the international or even just specialty freight. It's interesting to me, like, because it's not something that everybody pays attention to. It's not, you know, just a drive in, pick up, deliver, send your BOL, send your POD. It's all there and done. But like with the air freight side of things, like, are you gonna get into that with Firecrown? Like, or is that something that you've thought about doing, like publicating for the aviation side and kind of getting into that, you know, more specialized side of media?
Yeah, I mean, like part of my job there is to help other creators launch shows underneath these other brands. So like I personally don't have an interest in like me hosting a flying show, but I do have an interest in like producing that for other people. So that's sort of like where I fit into that behind the scenes on those kind of things and getting those. And I'm still learning all those. You know, it's been a couple of months now, but there's a whole bunch of new stuff in new publications we brought in. The one thing is like for me with freight, like I already had all this experience. So like it's not that hard to be a content creator because I sort of know like what this stuff is. Where it's like with boating and that, like I don't know all the terminology. I don't know like what gets people going. I don't know what makes people. I don't know what's funny. Like I don't know. Like so, I still have to learn all of that kind of thing. But we got some ideas cooking. We got a little faith.
That's
I
cool,
just want
man.
to point. I just want to point out that he says all that, but I sure as hell don't see a Lego airplane in the background. All I see is a container.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, we're about to dig into the Lego side of
I
Dune,
did.
man.
I was so
I
waiting to
am
bring it
super
up.
jealous
Like,
about the V
I
Dub.
I
Oh,
know.
he's getting the
I was,
bus. Oh, there it is.
oh, look at that, dude. He's
We got the
got.
Concorde
Oh, that is so
right
awesome.
here.
Oh, that's so awesome.
This,
I sure
this is a
was.
great.
Is
This
the
set's
nose
like $200. It's
functional?
perfect.
Dooner, is the
Oh,
nose functional? Does it
so
it go?
let me give you some features. Yes, it is.
Let's
See?
go.
Up, down, up, down.
Oh, that's
We got
sick.
some flap action back here.
That
The
is so
fastest
cool.
Fingers out
airplane
of the
that
way. Little flap action. Really nice set. I got a bat wing too.
shout out to Legos, first of
Dude, yeah.
all, because this is
My,
sick.
I can't. I mean, I just want.
And we got a truck too. Right here.
Oh,
That's not just any truck, sir.
It's not just any truck. This is Optimus Prime
That's
MFer.
right, dude. That is.
He transforms too, which is pretty crazy for a Lego.
That is nuts.
Like he literally turns
My
into a truck.
oldest-
you got to
my
prove it.
oldest-
You got to prove it.
I need my 7-year-old to come down here and do it for me. I've never transformed this one before.
That's
my
awesome,
oldest
though.
doesn't do it
I
too
saw
much
that
anymore.
show. You had the guy from Legos on your on what the truck, didn't you? Is he the one that gave you the V Dub bus?
Oh, and Matt, no, he's from Covenant.
Covenant.
Covenant's a
Okay.
really large carrier out here in Chattanooga.
Okay, I know the
Really
one.
big
Yeah, you
trucking
go around
company.
the curve right before the paper mill. They're right up on the hill.
Yeah. They're kind of like, it's interesting, like a religious trucking company. Now you've done it, Lego Nerd Alert. I've always been a Lego Nerd Alert. I have a
Legos, Corey,
ridiculous
come
war
on,
chest of
bro.
Legos.
You're old enough. You understand Legos. I would pull them out, but my oldest, he doesn't do them too much anymore. I mean, I don't know. I'll pull one. I think the cats have broken most of them. This was a small one, but my sons, we're big Star Wars fans. I'm not like a geek, but we love watching Star Wars. So, but yeah, he does a ton of the Star Wars stuff. I got a whole little shelf down here full of them. I love Legos, man. Like they are. I don't know. Back in the day, they were those and micro machines were the toys.
Oh, yeah. Fast talking guy.
Yeah.
That guy was also in Transformers, the movie, the fast talking guy. He was Kip.
Yeah.
He was the micro machine dude. I got to put Optimus back. I'm going to bring you one more Lego. Lego because you mentioned Star Wars.
If it's the Millennium Falcon, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Dude, I got
lose your shit.
my son's got a Millennium Falcon, I think, sitting down here, dude. Yeah, my oldest, he was big into the. He has like
might be even cooler than I'm like.
Oh,
oh
God.
my gosh, that is freaking huge!
Yes, it is.
Holy moly! Golly, look, that's like half as tall as he is. Oh my god,
That's incredible.
dude, that is so
Dude.
cool, man.
That's impressive shit, man. That's some serious Lego head stuff right there.
We still have a bucket of Legos from when my kids were small, and we were going to throw them away, and my wife said no. Eventually, we're going to have grandkids, and they need to experience Legos in their raw form.
So
You know what I
I saw a report in terms of like investments. Lego sets accrue in value higher than like the S&P.
They're nuts. I watched a whole documentary on Legos, man, and like Lego builders. And I mean, obviously it's a big community, people know, but dude, you're right. And here's a weird thing, which totally kind of threw me off guard is Legos, there is a sector of it where it's like other collectibles to where the unopened boxes are worth crazy money. And I'm like, who the fuck buys Legos and doesn't put them together? Like, what fun
So,
is that?
like,
man.
Something like the Titanic. If you're going to buy it, it's almost like $700, right? To get back on your investment, just buy 2 Titanics. Build one, put one in the garage. Help me convince my wife this is good investment strategy. Second, that Titanic's out of print, though. This thing's going to be $1,400 on eBay. I'm not even kidding. Lego, especially like Desire says, like they go insane in value once they go to print.
You want to know another thing that goes crazy in value, and I've got like half a wall of them are Pops.
Oh, your Funko Pops.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, if anybody out there has a Jerry Garcia one, hit me up.
Dude,
Oh, are
they're
you guys
crazy.
collectors?
No, I'm not. My kids were big into them, but they were smart about it, and so they've got like sets. The most valuable one I have that I know of is an autographed white Power Ranger one by Jason David Frank, R.I.P. And I don't know. I think my kid said that one's around 1,000 plus, right before he passed away. So, but I don't know. We've got like Valentine's Day ones. I don't know what they're worth. My kids collected them, and this used to be my son's bedroom. So I just left them on the wall because I'm a dad. You know what I mean? So, but
I know the
pops are
feel, man.
nuts, man. Like the people go crazy for those things. It's bonkers, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a collector of any stuff like that. I'm a big vinyl collector. That's been
Mm.
my huge thing. I went on a little rant during COVID times and after that, but dude, vinyl's my bread and butter. That's my poison.
I am a hat collector, and I don't mean special hats. I just love freaking hats.
Any hat
Rid,
whatsoever?
huh?
Just like any hat whatsoever
No,
is.
no,
Like a what the truck hat that's coming out here soon.
I mean,
Yeah, I got some of those coming soon.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like ball caps or whatever, you know, specifically more so flat bills. But dude, I don't know. I just when I was younger, I actually used to have really long hair, and since it, you know, I don't know, I used to wear a hat because my hair always used to be messy, and so I don't know. I have an unhealthy obsession with hats. My wife has since, you know, taken it under control because you know, when you're going to Lids every month and you know spending $100 or $200 on fucking hats, my wife literally told me the other like not too long ago. She's like, "Babe, you've seriously got to make something for these hats. They take up like half the top of the closet shelf, and now that like I used to stack them all nice and neat, and now there's so many of them, like they just fall down randomly."
Nah,
So,
Man,
it's
this was
nothing like
only
a
like 450 Zin points.
how many cans of Zen does that take?
Well, it's 15 points a can, right?
Really?
So how many is that in 100? 15, 30, 60, 90. Quick math. My
I'm
math's not
bad at math. Yeah, pull out the phone.
all
Our
I
teachers
all I
lied
want
to
to
us.
how
You
many
say,
don't need.
Zins? How many
all I
Zins?
want to
What
ask
is it? 450 divided by that's gonna take 30 cans.
is there
That's a
gear
pretty.
as is their gear as good as Marlboro Miles gear? That's
Oh,
You
all I'm
know,
let's
you
talk
know.
about Camel though. Camel Joe, Cool Joe.
Killer Joe had some
yeah,
good gear
Dick
too, didn't
nose,
they, dude? Right.
right? You know the Dick nose thing, right? Like that was a big issue.
Yes, yes, I
In the
do.
pack, there's also like there's something going on with the camel, right? There's things like hiding in the actual
Yeah,
like traditional camel, the
yeah.
Illuminati.
Mhm.
Dude,
They're
even the
some
Marlboro packs were the same way. Yes, yes, we know the only collector hat is the Dad of Two roadside hat. Yes, yeah. Honestly,
Hey,
I'm gonna pull that off there because I ain't even got my hat and I ain't got my damn high vis uh predatory tower shirt.
you mean this one
Um,
right here?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I didn't
ready
get
to.
one of those.
I'm ready to.
I didn't get one of those
Well, I got
DO2.
hired for the first tugboat brigade. We're gonna do some boat towing.
Oh wow.
It's a little.
Is
It's a
that
little.
XL you were talking about that didn't quite fit?
This is a 2X, man, but like it don't fit my arms.
Where'd you
It's
buy that from? Rabine?
nah, man. That's Corey, Mr. Dad of two. See, I can barely
I
take
know
it off.
Mr. Cord.
we
He's
But
my
you
man.
know,
He's
but see, I'm a big T-shirt guy too. I'm a big
okay.
T-shirt guy.
So we have an idea for Corey's new merch line, and I mean Corey, if you do it, you have to pay us royalties because we have proof on previous shows that we came up with the idea. But it's going to be called Boats and Toes,
Boats
and
and
it's going to
toes.
be his predatory toe gear, Boats and Toes. That's what we're going to do.
Mm-mm-mm.
Are you
Is Dooner
bullish on the
bullish
new
for
era
a
of W?
new era of WWE?
Yeah, The
You know,
Rock
I
is
sort
back.
of did Ryan, did you see Raw on Monday? It was kind of weird, like all the sexual energy between The Rock and Cody Rhodes. There was like this 45-minute. Did you see it, Pedro? It was like a 45-minute promo to open the show, and it's supposed to be like this new era of wrestling. And then like the first hour, there's not any wrestling at
I
all.
want to say that coincidentally, your intro music. I stopped watching wrestling after that band left wrestling. My wife and I got together in 2001. I think I stopped watching wrestling not too long after WCW and WF merged. Like it was cool, but I don't know. I was a huge Stone Cold fan. And with WCW, I loved, Hulk Hogan and the New World Order. But I don't know. I stopped watching it after all the people I kind of grew up with started getting out of it. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't get on with a lot of these people. So no, I didn't.
Well,
I didn't watch it, bro. I didn't
hey,
watch it.
question, Dooner, do you think that's a play in the whole Vince McMahon ordeal that's going on?
I mean, that's real. I mean, have you read some of those allegations?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's funky, but I mean, it's not
Defecation,
good.
threesomes, and things like that. I don't even know, man. I don't. Yeah, I'm sure there's tons of shady stuff going on. Wrestling. I've read like a lot of I mean, wrestling backstage it's a circus. It's a carnival, and there was some crazy stuff that went on.
There's a ton of great documentaries out there. Matter of fact, there's one on Netflix called The Dark Side of Wrestling. Really good. Ryan, I don't hear none of your crap, dude. I don't know of any other wrestler that has driven a fucking beer truck into an arena and sprayed down the owner of the wrestling organization with fucking Coors Light. What other wrestler was able to? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was, but dude, no,
Kurt Angle with the milk truck. Kurt Angle drove a milk truck in the arena like a week later and shot
off.
off.
Beer truck. It wasn't a beer truck. That's the thing. I'm not
milk
saying
truck's
Stone
even
Cold-
better.
I'm not saying Stone Cold is the greatest wrestler ever, man. I don't know. I liked him.
He's got a podcast.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
a podcaster.
Who, Kurt Angle does?
No, well, maybe Kurt Angle does, but Stone Cold does.
Oh, Stone Cold. Stone Cold's been all over the place. He just launched his new beer. He's got his own.
That's been around for a long, long time. It's just now
really?
finally outside of Texas. That's all that is. Yeah, because he lives, he has a ranch south of Victoria and stuff. So no, he's had a beer line for a while. It just, has finally caught on and made it outside of Texas.
Dooner, who's your favorite wrestler all time?
My favorite wrestler. I'll give you this answer, and then I have to bounce because it's
That's fine.
and
Yeah, we're getting to the 2 hour mark.
Before you go, Dooner, we'll have one final short question from Corey. But give your answer.
First question right here. The first answer is the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania 6 is the first WWE pay-per-view I ever watched, and it was the electricity. You could cut it with a knife. It was amazing. It was Ultimate Warrior. And then like 90s, I don't know. I liked Austin Hogan, the Attitude Era. There's so much good stuff back then. But Ultimate Warrior.
I was gonna pull it up on screen. I don't know. I don't want to do a comparative thing. But Dad of Two said, how do you like this format, our format, compared to others out there, Dooner? That's the final question. We want some feedback from the man, the myth, the master of logistics podcasting.
Oh, I think this format's interesting. Like, I've done a lot of different interviews. I usually end up getting asked the same questions about the origin story, and that's the thing. So it's cool that we were able to get into some other stuff, other random kind of things untimed, and you could just kind of unpack and breathe. So I thought that was pretty cool, especially for me, because I work in a very news shot clock oriented type of show where I have a set amount of time, and there's when it gets to radio, commercials have to fit in, so you have to think sort of differently. So it's nice here to not have a clock in front of me constantly counting down.
Cool, bro. That's all we wanted to hear, because that's exactly the point, man. That's exactly it. It's
I actually just kind of put something in my mind for an idea on how to take the idea of it. But Dooner, you're the fucking man. Final question. One last question. Favorite ice cream and favorite color.
There you go.
My favorite, dude. I'll tell you my favorite. Can I go with sherbet? I had rainbow sherbet last
night.
Oh, I had not had sherbet. No, I kind of even forgot sherbet existed. I don't know if this ever happens to you guys. Something's not in front of me. I don't even realize it is a thing. And then I was reading, and someone was I was reading some article, and it was ice cream, sorbet, sherbet. And then I texted my wife immediately, and I'm like, if you're by Publix, can you please run immediately and get me some rainbow sherbet?
The orange, the lime, and the raspberry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that raspberry there. It's just perfect. And favorite color is the same colors as my show. They're black and red. Freightwaves was blue when I got there. And I was like, in Raw and SmackDown, Freightwaves colors were blue, white, and black. I was like, well, I'll be the red team then. Everyone's like, that doesn't I remember the guy who they used to have they still have a graphics person there, but at a point I was supposed to go through the graphics person for anything I wanted, and that was the last day I ever did. And that's when I redid the logo to be the over the top style, and I went with the red and the white, and we've been running ever since. So black, red, two favorites.
I like black and red. That's the Texas Tech colors. Awesome.
Well,
I appreciate it,
oh,
Dooner.
gross. Well, I like your take on black, Dooner. It is the most versatile color out there. It's hard to mismatch black with black.
Yeah.
Unless it's a
Well, sometimes
different.
you get the shades. You get like that faded
Dude,
kind of.
yes.
Once in a while, it'll happen where it won't work. Like the
Mhm.
jeans are just too faded, and the black shirt's too
Yeah.
crisp.
Yep. That's
But
it,
in
man.
general, you're fine.
Don't dry black clothing. There's your helpful tip for the day.
Don't dry
Yeah.
it. Well, hey,
I
gentlemen,
don't-
thank you so much for having me.
I feel
I'm going
like
to bounce. I got to pee and take the kids out, but this has been an awesome 2 hours with you two.
Thanks, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate
Well, hey,
it.
do you have any closing comments before you go? Any promos? Any?
Oh, everyone, thanks for tuning in and listening to us ramble. It was fun. I'm on Twitter at Timothy Dooner, Dooner. If you're not already following me, follow, hang out. If you're in this space and you do something cool, maybe you can come on the show, have you on as a guest. I have to produce a lot of these things. Always looking for new and fresh minds to come along, and you can find What the Truck wherever you get podcasts or on Road Dog Trucking. Just look up What the Truck.
We'll take that as an invite for some lounges.
I'll have you guys on soon. I'll have you guys on soon. I'm just waiting for you to cut your teeth a little, for your balls to drop a little bit. You just kind of started doing this. But
That's
after
fair.
spending 2 hours with you, I think your testicles are starting to slap around your knees. So you might
Is,
be
is,
ready.
is that the tingling in my toes I'm feeling?
Or your testicles just getting extra sweaty. Dude, my balls are longer than they should be.
Oh my god, dude!
You know what's hot?
heard
Like
it
right
here
now, they just
first.
feel long right now. They're sliding down my leg. I'm gonna go take care of that. But guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Later, brother. Later. Holy shit,
Appreciate it, brother.
this fucking guy. Oh my.
Well, how about that?
Oh,
Another
bro.
eventful day in the logistics lounge.
Dude, that was funny shit, bro. He's a hoot, man. He's an absolute hoot.
Yeah,
It's good to, huh?
I'm just saying, no complaints, man. That was awesome. Just
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I like.
a classic lounge ramble off. Just yeah, we can talk about the normal stuff, but show me your Lego set. Tell me about the 9-inch nails and your long balls.
But that's what it is, though, man. Especially with people, people like him and others that maybe not even be content creators, just but got good followings and stuff, man. Like
Just
people
good
know who you
people.
are, they know what the fuck you do. Blase, 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 big whoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget what you do and who you are for what people see. Like, who are you? I told you this earlier, Hunter. I think that is the greatest intro question, like, that we ever could have came up with, or you could have came up with, I'd say, and that's, who is insert name? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I like that, dude. And I know a lot of
Well,
people roll into, oh, my professional stuff. And it's like, no, 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 no. Fuck that. Like, what do you do when you get off of your stuff? Like, who are you? Go ahead, Hunter. I'm not going to touch it. Look at you,
Well,
bro. That beard is
Is he
looking.
gone now?
That beard is looking sick, Jay.
I did not brush it at all today, and it's the lighting. It looks like ass today. My mustache is all a
When
mess.
we were at Matt's, you look like a fucking homeless person with that beard at some point.
Hey Justin, I'm telling you, man, I took your advice. I'm not shaving until I'll do some trimming up, but I'm not shaving until next Mats. I'm giving it the full year.
Excellent. Yeah, I tell everybody, go a year if you can, 6 months minimum. It's gonna look like shit. You'll get made fun of. Just power through it and then go somewhere and get it trimmed.
Absolutely.
I was trying to get on earlier,
Yeah.
and I had my son here with me, and I was like, look, it's Dooner. You want to be on with Dooner? And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like, well, and first he said he did, then he didn't. And I was like, well, if you're going to go on, you got to put a shirt on. And he was like, no, I'm not putting a shirt on. So I was like, well, go play with your Legos.
Fair enough. Well, dude, I saw that you were originally upset about the Eclipse deal, and then finally you got to see a bit of it, which
yeah. So it was my wife's birthday that weekend, and we booked the Airbnb in upstate New York. She has a friend who lives up there. That's where her family's from, and we were all set for this party, and then a couple of days later we realized like, oh, it's the eclipse that weekend too, and then that was when like everything was booking up, and it was gonna be a mess. But yeah, we got up there. We kept checking the weather like the week before, and it was originally forecast to be raining that day, and then it was forecast to be like sunny and clear 2 days prior. And then the day of, it was like overcast, and we were like, "Oh, damn it!"
Yeah.
And yeah, the eclipse rolls around, and it was so overcast that when you put like those eclipse glasses on, you look at the sun, you couldn't see
Didn't
it.
even see it.
I just had like some really nice like polarized sunglasses, so I put those on, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice." And then when the actual like totality hit, that was really like, even with the cloud cover, we could still see like the ring up
Yeah.
there, and it was like a wall coming at us. Like you could see the shadow coming at you, and the sky off in the distance was like the deepest blue you've ever seen in your life.
That's awesome, man. That's the stuff people don't talk about.
Yeah, my wife was like really skeptical about reading the reports of like, oh, you might get emotional, you might cry, the first time you see it. She wasn't like too thrilled about it, but the dad of her friend that was there with us, I mean, he was like inches away from crying, like he was completely like blown away, and
Dude, that's like
it was
probably the last time he'll ever see that. Not being like morbid or anything, but like unless
yeah,
you're going overseas, like I think the next one they have planned for the U.S. is in like what 20 years. I think they're planning to have.
2044, and then
Yeah.
there's one in 2045 that'll be like another path of totality through major metro areas. But
I know a lot of people like I don't know. I know it was a popular thing, but I'll say I really don't have a term for it, but I'm a person that really like thinks about things on an extreme level or like an in-depth level. And I know it's nothing new, but to me, I'm just in awe of it, of like what had to happen, how perfectly designed our solar system is set up for that to happen on
Well,
a
shout
semi.
out to the scientists for getting it down to the day and the time. Like that's pretty
Well, I mean,
badass.
they've been tracking this stuff for forever.
just
Yeah.
about to say that, bro.
I mean,
Like
but still, like
The Egyptians tracked like sun movement and stuff.
okay,
Yeah.
so can you guys go and track when the next one's gonna be?
No, I mean, there's way smarter people doing it than me. But apparently,
No,
so
it was
these
trippy though, man. Like even here in Tennessee, like I don't know, it was like very overcast, like just dark the entire day. But when it was happening, like it was like a dimmer light. Like it got so like
so you
I
weren't
thought it was gonna be a tornado.
you
But
weren't
you
in
know,
the path of totality,
no, but like it
dude.
did.
You really missed out. It's totally different because that was my third eclipse ever, like in my life. When I was real little, there was one when I was in Indiana that was like 75% or whatever, and then we had one in Philadelphia in like 2019, I think. That one was like another like 70% or whatever. But this was my first like totality one, and it's a whole different animal.
Dude, it
Yeah.
was. I've experienced the same ones you had just mentioned or whatever, but obviously I live in Texas. Everyone knows that. And we are directly in the path of movement for the entire eclipse, and man, it was pretty cool, dude. I mean, it got so all of our street lights came on, all my
Yeah.
solar lights in my yard came on. I mean, it was man. It was pretty amazing. We stood out there for an entire hour just watching it, man. My whole neighborhood, and
We
it was pretty cool.
So you're like out in the suburbs.
I mean, I wouldn't say suburbs. I mean, I live on the outskirts of the city that I live in, but
Okay.
I mean, I'm like an hour north of Austin. So,
Military base.
yeah.
Okay,
so,
yeah, we were like out in the woods in New York, and it was watching sunset and sunrise within like 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
All the animals in the area went nuts. Like we could hear the deer like running around. Like
Yep.
they're like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" The birds were like changing directions because they're like, "What the hell's going on?" The bugs got like really weird too. Like when it's at night, the bugs start coming out, and then the sun comes out, and they're like, "Oh shit," and they run away again. It was weird. I was surprised, like researching all the eclipse action and stuff. Solar eclipses happen once every 18 months, but they're like usually over the ocean or like nobody lives. I'm very curious going forward because this was like such a major event now, and so many people got exposed to like the path of totality. I wonder how many people are going to be like hooked on this, and whether there's going to be like a new kind of like solar eclipse tourism that emerges out of this.
Sounds like there's going to be a few cults to be created.
Yeah.
Once somebody discovers Apocalyptica and
from what my wife and my kid told me, man, which it totally makes sense, but there were people who flew in from all over the globe to come see this. And like there is a movement of like eclipse chasers. And they do like it doesn't matter whether it's a damn 25% eclipse, like they will go wherever, whenever that is happening, just to catch it. I mean, I'm being a little
That seems that seems
They
a
own
bit
crystal
much.
shops. They
25%.
sell crystals and sage and.
But dude, see, hey, people joke about this stuff, man. I'm a big history guy. Just like I told my wife and kids, like people don't understand the importance of these things to our past generations. Like entire civilizations and cultures would revolve things around planetary movement and eclipses and solstices and all of this stuff. My wife is part Native American, and she's on big on the Native American side of TikTok, and apparently there's certain tribes that were over in the western part of the United States that they basically, and this is not me poking fun at any religion or anything, it's just the closest way I can reference it, but it was kind of like a Shabbat for them. Like they stayed inside, it was about a time of reflection and all of these type of things. So here it is, even in this day and age, man, there are still people out there that find significant
Go say bye to
importance
these guys.
in
We
these
can go.
things, man. And
Let me go take little man outside. He wants to go run around for the next hour. So just cut chop.
you were talking about planets. That's why.
Oh, he heard me. What's up?
Do you remember why?
Why?
Because it's too dark. Because it's really dark outside.
Well, it's only 6:45. We got time. Let's go. All right. Good seeing you guys. I'll just chop in and say hi.
No!
All right. Say bye.
Later, little J Mart.
We have five.
Boom.
Let's see you guys.
Bye,
Later,
man.
brother.
Later, dude.
Cool. Well,
You're right, Ryan. I mean, 1,000%. But still, man, they were of vast importance, man.
watch the movie Apocalyptica. Saved people's lives back in the day. They thought it was a movement from the gods. But that's cool stuff, man. You know what's even cooler? The fucking logistics lounge and the friends that we have coming on this place, man. I love it, man. I love it. And the fact that Dooner said we need to drop our balls a little bit, cut our teeth before we can get on with the truck. I can't wait for that, man. That's cool, man. That shows some promise and longevity. And everybody watching here, we love y'all. Like without you, we wouldn't even be here.
The lounge lizards, brother. Like it is it's a movement. It is, man. It's a movement. And people I think, people love it. They believe in it. It's about, peeling the layers back of the onion that is logistics and the players in this game. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like that the most. Like Dooner, man, I've watched him for off and on for a while. Went back and tried to dig into some older stuff that he did, but dude, it was cool to just see him for him, and that's what our always goal is. Is dude, all these fucking people are on social media. You can go read their posts. You can find out about them. Go fucking DM them and ask them questions yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to show you. We just want it to be chill.
The
man,
other side.
people for
The
who
other
they are.
side. Stuff that you can't find on the internet. But once again, if you can find Dooner's cover of that Radiohead song, $25 gift card to Amazon.
That. $50 gift card. I'm telling you,
$50.
that's serious stuff. Someone can find Dooner's cover of Radiohead's Subterranean Aliens or whatever. Send that shit to us, and we're gonna put that on, man. Sheree, I don't know if this is you, but if it is or whoever it is, thank you so very much. We appreciate it. We can't wait to have you and actually anyone that's a part of your deal come on the show. You are not limited, Sheree, to just having yourself on. Any of your clique, your clan, your crew, your homies, man, bring them on. They're more than welcome. The more, the merrier. That's what we like to do. The more, the merrier. Mr. Hound, do you have any closing comments, questions, concerns, updates?
Updates. Not so much. Not so much on the updates. Comments. Thank you all for watching once again. Thank you all for the love. Thank you all for the hate. Um, shout out to Piss Jug Man once again.
That is not a piss chug. We just want to clarify that. I'm sorry, Hunter. I don't want people thinking you're on the show peeing in a jug. We got to get
Yeah.
him on though, dude. We've got to get that guy on. That'd be so cool. He's
Who?
got some little
Piss Jug
traction.
Man?
Huh?
Who?
Yeah, the piss jug man and the people that
Oh,
make those piss jugs.
you can't even find them. Ask Justin
Really?
Martin, dude. They are the most covert operation going on in the Twitter industry right now, dude. It's insane.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
I wanna
no,
have
but
one.
I mean, get some stickers. But yeah, y'all check out the Logistics Lounge 365.com. Get you a couple of hats. If you don't like the hats that are available, hit us up. Shout out to our boy Josh. He's helping us kind of get into the Chicago market. So we got the Only Freight. We've created an Only Vans. But no, for our boys in the tanker industry, the flatbed industry, the drayage industry, we're gonna, even reefer. We're gonna start making some merch to give you all some love.
Dude, for
Um, what were you about to say?
I was saying for the flatbed industry, we should do something like only tarps or something like
Nah,
that.
no, no. I'm gonna get away from just the Only Freight stuff,
Oh,
man.
okay.
It's a new generation, a new era of Only Lounge stuff. It's the Logistics Lounge. So if y'all have any ideas, hit us up with it because stickers, t-shirts, towels, phone cases, stuff with the
Lizard
show. If you if you if
lizard
you
wrap.
if you'd like to see something in the show, let us know because it's just a two-man operation. So if there's something you'd like us to touch on.
Three-man operation now.
Oh yeah, Ryan Van Brocklin, shout out, barback of the Logistics Lounge, officially a part of the lounge.
Ryan,
I don't
Ryan,
think he even knows that. I don't think Ryan even knows that he's officially a part of the lounge. But
we got to show love to Ryan, man. He guys, if y'all don't know, Ryan has got a set up on Spotify. We'll be moving over to Apple or whatever in a bit, but yeah, Ryan is currently uploading episodes to Spotify. Matter of fact, Hunter, I don't know if you got all the ding 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 Spotify updates today,
oh
but
no,
yeah,
I've not even, dude. He did that on his own.
I know, bro.
I
That's why
was
he's awesome.
Yeah. So I haven't even logged into any of that, but I hope it's going well. I'll probably check it out on one of my walks and pull a Dooner and listen to myself and
Yeah, I like it though, bro. Man,
yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's cool.
it
It's
takes it
takes a village,
I
like
was
you said
just about to
before. Takes a
say that,
village.
motherfucker. Just about to say that. God
Let's
darn
go.
you, man. I was just about to say that. Yeah, sweet.
But a couple more shout outs. Anybody in Tennessee? Shit. Give me 1 second. Nashville Transportation Club is hosting a couple good events. Give me 1 second to pull this shit up because this is something that I promised I would. NTC. We have a bit for not a bit. Transportation Club. Hold on. One more second. Got a couple good events coming up. Golf tournament. Women in transportation are coming into town. Um, women in trucking actually. Let's see here. Have they posted on here yet? I don't know. I don't think so. So now I'm sounding stupid. Actually, nope. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to present this. Anybody in Nashville or the surrounding Tennessee areas? We have Women in Logistics coming April 25th, 2024, this year, 11 a.m. through 1 p.m. Have I'm going to butcher her name, JMTO, Chief Strategy Officer at Arrive Logistics, Elizabeth Simpkins with the Regional Underwriting Office of Travelers Inland Marine, and Abby Ham, Vice President Sales of Covenant Logistics, and Miss Lindsay Phillips, Corporate Logistics Manager for Performance Food Group. So Go check out Women in Logistics on the NTC page, Nashville Transportation Club. It's going to be a good time, helping them out with that. And there's also a golf scramble coming up later this year. Let's see here. Boom. Same dealio. And I'm going to be reaching out to some people on this charity golf tournament. So if y'all don't know about the Nashville Transportation Club, all proceeds go towards sponsors or scholarships for Middle Tennessee college scholarships going towards supply chain logistics, helping kids get into this industry. So it'll be at the Franklin Bridge Golf Club. It's Monday, June 10th, starting at 12 o'clock. Me and my buddy cameraman Joe will be there. We'll be cutting some content. I do believe that Truck Parking Club might make an appearance. It'll be a good time. So check out Nashville Transportation Club. A lot of good things going on. Who's that? She Trucking. Boom. She Trucking. Come on up to the old
I love you, Sheree. Oh my god, I love you. She said Usher Raymond. It's coming
I don't know
420.
who Usher Raymond is.
You don't know who Usher is? Come on, bro.
Oh, Usher, is that his full name?
Yeah, Usher Raymond. Yeah.
Oh, well, I just thought it was just Usher, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it is, but I'm guessing Sheree's old folk like me. I don't, but yeah, that's so funny. And how funny is it that he's doing his show on 420? That's cool, man.
That
I
would be
like that.
cool. Well,
I'm
Sheree,
with
if you're still in town, come on April 25th. That's the day after my birthday. We'll get down. Maybe you can get up there, do a little speaking. It'll be a good time. But, if you guys are not in Nashville, check around your local parks and see if there is a transportation club. I know Ryan's trying to start one in the whatever part of New York he's in.
Well,
Nate
you said point
Johnson's
here.
got one going on in Minnesota. It's a good thing. There's a lot of people, that like we do here talk about logistics, but maybe in your community, get with them, make some connections.
I wonder if
And
there's one here. I gotta look that up, dude. I gotta
I'm
look
sure
that up.
there is, man. I'm sure there is.
It's probably in Austin, and I'm not fucking driving down there. Like,
Well, you could
forget.
start one in your own area.
I will.
Like,
I will. I know enough people here. I should start one, bro. I should.
hell
We'll
yeah.
call it. We'll call it the.
Because we all know our friends and family not in logistics do not care about logistics. So we need an ear to chew on.
My wife and kids, like I talk to them about my industry, and they're like, you know what I mean? like if I want to go to sleep, I ask my dad to tell me about his job. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. And
Yeah.
we'll give a shout out to Dad Tow Show in Florida next week. So if you want to go and voice all your discrepancies with those predatory towers,
What a hell
that's
of a time to have a tow show in Florida with all that stuff going on.
I don't know. I assume. I think Dad said he's going to be there. I think he said he's going to be there. I believe he did.
Kick them in the knees. Predatory towing is not as bad as it sounds.
So I want to say something real quick since hopefully he's still watching, dude. Ever since I started talking to you, I have, how can I say this? I watch movies now. Coincidentally, I watched a movie the other day, and they were pulling a Chevy Silverado out of a lake, and the tow truck that they had was like a fucking heavy duty tower for a semi. And I was like, man, that's bullshit. Like, they know they didn't need that big tow truck. They just did that to charge those people like 5 times the amount. But no, seriously, I was like, man, they so could have done that with another Chevy Silverado with the tow package. So I just want to say, Dad, that now when I see tow trucks in movies, I'm like, yeah, you sure do not need that rotator to pull that minivan out of a ditch. You know what I mean? It's kind of like once you serve in the military and or law enforcement, and you watch any movie where there's a shooting scene, and you're like, yeah, that car door sure as fuck would not stop those rounds. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things. You know what I mean? It's like, now
Yeah.
that I have inside
I'm saying,
information,
y'all educate yourself on towing.
yeah.
Hey, we're gonna get Corey on the show because I geeked out about the towing before, but that is so interesting and people need to know about it.
We haven't. So I'm glad you brought that up. I would love to have Corey as a spotlight guest and TJ. You and I were talking
Yeah,
about
and if anybody here is watching and would like to be a guest, hit us up.
yeah, yeah.
Got a
T,
story to tell. I mean, shit. Yeah,
yeah,
TJ's
TJ.
gonna come on. We're gonna
I
get
know
Corey
that.
on. Maybe even a nil if he can behave himself for an hour, and then we can let him cut loose. Water weight. Not gonna.
See, look at look at Corey. He's sitting there saying, "Nah, man." They had a real tow consultant on that show, and that guy was like, "Look, this Dodge Ram 2500 is not going to pull that truck out of that body of water with the water weight." You learn something new every day here on the Logistics Lounge. Look at that. If you ever drive your vehicle into a body of water, make sure that when you call the tow company, they bring out the proper equipment so they don't double charge you. There you go, right there. Look at that.
Yep.
Valuable information being put out
Well,
right here.
few things, as always, being heard here first in the Logistics Lounge.
Yeah, I want to. Hey, another thing that you heard here first was TJ likes wearing other people's clothes.
Well, you know what thing is not been heard here first?
What's that, brother?
Is that sure thing that's going on in Sure Line. I mean,
Oh,
it's
all
just,
day, every day.
it's right on. Are you gonna play the video?
I thought you were going. You're the one that brought it
Oh,
up.
I-
Jesus Lord. Dude, I am
Hey,
so
yeah, tomorrow is when the new version is gonna come out.
I need to put that out. I have the picture on my phone. I thought about doing it earlier today, but I got like pulled into something else and I forgot. So Corey,
Sure
just
thing.
know, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna implement you into to the video, man. I promise. I promised you I would, and I'm going to. So, but what I was gonna say is I got to get whoever made that graphic for Sureline over at their company. I got to get them to change it and at the bottom put "It's a sure thing with Sureline."
Hey, we'll get them. We're gonna get them on put them on the website. Put them on the website with a little testimonial.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. All right. We are we're
Fred,
finding
yes, we are. Yes, we are. The booth is
yeah.
not confirmed, but yeah, we're gonna be in Houston. See you at the end of June. And also, fuck you, Fred.
Yeah, fuck you, Fred. For sure, bro. We hope we see you there, man. I know I heard stirrings in the X spaces that you were going to be there, but hopefully you are, man. Spud said it early in the show. We're all going to be out there chilling at his house after the show, doing some grilling. I say all of us, not like it's going to be a ton of people, but those who know will be out at Spud's, Fred. So hopefully we get hooked up with you. Hunter, I don't know if Hunter has your phone number, but we will get your digits before that, Fred, so we can like hook up without having to DM and stuff through X or whatever like
Yeah,
that.
Fred, put it in the comments.
No, don't put it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I hope he's smarter than that.
Oh my god. Okay. We appreciate everyone joining us as always. Tomorrow we have Mr. Lucas. He is a CDL instructor at a driving school. You know, big. A lot of people talk about the quality of drivers that are out there on the road, and Lucas is one of those folks that he's trying to do his part and make sure that he's putting quality, qualified CDL holders out there on the highway. So we're going to have him on tomorrow, talk about some, how that stuff goes down, the things that he does to help ensure quality comes out of his schooling. Obviously, he'll be open for questions, comments, concerns. So everybody tune in tomorrow. It's Thursday. Usually we go on at 15:30ish, but it will be 1600ish Central Standard Time. So just remember that. And then Friday, we got the man Trey Griggs coming on the show. Super, super fucking
Rob,
stoked.
you need to start practicing your bars because I'm gonna
Nah.
get Trey to rap on the show, man.
I need to.
I'm kidding. I'm going to stop poking you about that. But
Nah, man, it's not a poking thing, man. To be honest with you, dude, it's just it's been so long, and now that I have a brain injury, like the words don't flow. Like if you want me to write,
that's
dude, I can
false
write.
because I heard you. I heard you in
But
my
dude,
Jeep. You
I
spit the
I used
whole
to
first half. You spit
I
the
used
whole thing, and then you said, "Oh, this is my buddies. This is my buddies."
but
Like
because we rehearsed it, we used to sing it so much, dude. Like if you get any of my old group of friends around, one of the first once everybody gets liquored up or whatever, one of the things that they say is, "Oh man, Rob, you got to do want to be a player. You got to do want to be a player." So like I've just done it so much, like I know that one, and like
well, hey,
SPM or
you said that after I picked you up from the airport, and you did it, and it flowed, man. It
I know,
flowed.
bro. I
So
know.
maybe
I'm
we'll
good
have
at
to do that next time. Maybe that's what we'll make it. We'll put a camera up, and the next time we're in a car together, it'll be like what's that karaoke in a car type
Yeah,
deal.
taxi cab. I remember that, dude. The taxi
Yeah,
cab.
and I'll just sit there and I'll be your MC. Darling, darling.
Fred, make sure. Hey, well, I think Hunter lives like 2 hours from there. But if you got time to chill, man, hit Hunter up, and maybe y'all can meet in the middle somewhere or whatever. You're right, Sage. Space does or Spud does have. Well, no, yeah, he does. He lives out in the middle of fucking nowhere, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust Spud, but
No,
I think I'm
we
going.
have not ever seen the rate, dude. That's still one of the funniest videos I've ever seen, bro. When he did that,
The more and more dude, I'm telling you, Rob, we need to have a logistics lounge talent show.
we
And
do.
Stage will do his version of Have you ever seen the Raycon?
I'm telling you, Hunter, I would say I've never, but that's probably one of the top 5 hardest laughs I have ever fucking had in
It
my
was
life
great.
when I watched that
It
video,
was
dude.
just the delay of the Have you ever seen the Raycon?
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, that shit is so funny, man. That's absolutely it. All right. That's gonna do it for us. We went longer than we have usually started going. We've been trying to keep Wednesdays and Thursdays to about an hour and a half, but we had a great guest on, and you can't stop the magic. Once the magic starts happening, you just kind of gotta let it all mix and gotta let it happen. Gut and trucking, you gotta go back and watch the first part of the show, man. When we had Dooner on,
Yeah, shout
really,
out
really,
Gut and Trucking.
yeah,
Them's the
really good
boys
stuff.
right there.
I want to say I love that fucking profile picture. I keep trying to think of what that picture is from. I know it's from.
That's Ray from the Trailer Park Boys.
I literally was just about to say I think it's the Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, go check out Ray from the Trailer Park Boys. He's a big trucking guy, man. He drove rig.
Yeah. So anyway, that's going to do it for us. We've already given our sponsors some love. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and as Hunter said, if you want to be a guest, just let us know, and we'll bring you on. We yeah, great day, great night. I'm going to finish my beer, and my wife is making potato soup, man. Oh yeah! So I'm going to go grub on some fucking potato soup, man, and some fresh baked rolls. That's how my wife
Pedro
does it,
Potato eating potato soup from
bro.
Laredo.
I love potato soup, dude. I know it's I don't know, it's crazy.
That's cannibalism.
Bro. I'm so gonna make a fucking meme out of that now, bro. Oh my god.
Do it.
So that is a good one, cannibalism. You funny son of a gun, bro. Oh, that's good shit. All right, Hunter. We already know you made some closing comments. Do you have anything you thought about since then that you want to say before we chop out this piece?
We'll see you tomorrow.
We will. We'll see
And
you
I
tomorrow.
love all of y'all.
We do. We love each and every one of you. Yeah, 100%. Oh shit! Here, show them. Look at these, dude. Fresh baked. I mean, like she let these rise. They're
Fake.
like,
They're fake. Dude, Cat just dipped out.
my wife makes nothing fake, dude. She is the greatest freaking cook in the world, besides my gangi. Rest in peace. She was the greatest cook ever. All right. We love all of y'all. Have a good one. Catch y'all tomorrow. We'll catch you Friday. If you're out there on the road, be safe. As Evan Shelley says, keep it between the mustard and the mayo. And as I always say, chunk them deuces. Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful bean footage.